Yeah, we already got viewers wondering what's going on.
Well, I put a message in there via
Hmm.
Pam's account to let everybody know it's going to be a couple minutes. Sorry, everybody. Tech issues. It happens. If you're really that butthurt about it, drop in the chat. Let me know. We'll run 5 minutes late to make up for it. 6, just to be sure. But welcome to another week of Lord Z's Fantastical Dungeon. I am Lord Z, your host and game master. Let's do introductions real quick. Jeremy, you're up first tonight.
Hi, I'm Fitz Chivalry, the Azamar Paladin. I am here to look pretty and kick ass. And I have plenty of both.
Ass or ass kicking?
I've seen his
I do a
character up
lot of
close.
I
He
do a
ain't
lot of
got no ass.
squats.
Yeah.
Eric, what you got for us?
I'm Eric. I'm playing Willie, the reformed pirate barbarian. I just manifest animalistic destruction, just primal rage and pure instinct. And I just want to some more dragon face, hopefully, at some point coming up directly.
Alrighty. Pam.
Hi, I'm Pam. I'm playing Miss Holly. I am a half elf sorcerer and I'm sailing away. We'll see if we make it.
Wild magic sorceress. It's important to put in the wild magic so people understand why things go fucking crazy when you try to
Yeah.
cast spells. And Mike.
While I'm over here playing with the camera. Hey, I'm Mike. I'm playing Godric. I'm a Goliath cleric. Um, I'm a healer made of stone. Uh, Looking to vanquish the evils of the world and hopefully keep my party from laying down on the ground for too long.
Not a bad goal for a heater. We are short one player tonight. Max will not be with us for some personal reasons, unfortunately, but it's cool. She gave me a game plan for what she wants to do, and we'll NPC it and see how things go. So, over the last couple weeks, it's been a rough one, guys. You see, we talked about it either last week or the week before, and it was episode 13 was when Fitz and Yerndris joined us. We're on episode 29 right now. So that was 16 episodes ago. More than half the campaign y'all have been with us. But since you've joined, you've killed an Illithid, killed zombie beholders, killed. Well, the lunar dragon was right before you guys showed up. Last
Yeah,
last
right
week
there on Godric's chest.
last week you killed a solar dragon. The week before and tortured Lord Larat or the Warlock Gastaff to death. Um, Knocked him unconscious the week before that. Fought all sorts of undead and necromancers, and I think you had a couple of astral encounters, but basically you made it through.
Giant centipede.
Yeah, giant centipede, and
Were spiders.
thanks to Eric's mouth, some homebrewed alien were dog type things. Alien like the movie with Sigourney Weaver. Um, yeah,
Thanks
so
to Mac.
it's
Thanks to Masks, we got an Astro pet.
it's been
Well,
a
Max does.
fun, stressful, borderline painful 16 weeks, and you're finally back on your ship. Nothing stopping you from flying yourself to the tear and hopefully getting back to the material plane. But first, you decided you're going to stop and talk to the Archbishop, Archbishop Formand. You were given the coordinates to where him and any of the other survivors are at as Mirage attempts to continue clearing out the city of Brawl. And I'll move the ship map here. That's Brawl right there. It's a lot more smoky and destroyed right now from the undead invasion that just occurred, but that's Brawl. You guys left there and heading over to see Bishop Formand. About a half day's journey, during which time you all got a long rest in. I went ahead and gave that to you while I was doing my prep today. And you arrive at the, I guess we'll call it a refugee camp for all intents and purposes. It's a small little rock, nothing really identifiable about it. There's some tents set up. You can see clusters of people moving about. There's 15, 20 ships circling around. Um, one of them, as you begin your approach to the rock, one of them comes towards you, and Willie, you get up on the bow and start waving, and the captain of the other ship recognizes you. He's a fellow guard member and waves for you to go ahead and dock. And you guys dock. Is anybody doing anything other than heading straight for Formand?
No, I know Godric's planned on having a chat with Mr. Bishop so we can get on the move and get the hell out of here. Pam, I see your lips moving, but I don't hear nothing. Oh, okay.
Is there a map? I don't see a map.
Sorry, we're still
There
having tech
is
issues.
there is not a map for this.
Okay.
Theater
My
of the-
game was kind of funky when I started it up. I wasn't sure if I was not
Yeah.
functioning.
Fantasy Grounds just did a version update, so everything's a little screwy
Funky.
around the world, but it's all right. We'll make it work. No, it's I mean, there's nothing to really show you. It's literally just a flat rock. There's some tents and some people on it. I'm sorry, Godric. I heard you talking, but I needed to listen to Pam too. What did you say?
No, that's fine. I said as far as Godric's concerned, he's intended on heading straight to Bishop, having words with him for a few minutes, and then getting on our way.
Okay.
Because we were asked to stop in and talk to him, and we got evils of the world to vanquish. So
Yes,
I'd rather get this done and over with as quickly as possible so we can get moving.
I agree.
Okay. So the five of you make your way through the rock. Eventually, you find a big tent, which you would recognize as for the important people, and you enter. And Bishop Formand is in there along with some of the higher echelon of guard members. Um, Anything in particular you want to say to Bishop Formand?
Well, I suppose I'd start off with a greeting. Like,
Mhm.
how you doing since we last saw you in the cages?
I I think we're a little farther along than basic formalities. And he walks up and wraps his robotic arms around you in a big hug.
Oh,
Each of you,
Yeah, and
one down the line.
it's good to see you
He's
too,
a
bud.
puppy.
Well,
All right, so I mean, being that you're hugging us all and you appear to be in good health, so that's good. In case word hasn't reached here yet, we were able to vanquish the warlock that had the city under siege. Dark tentacles started retracting, so I'm hoping that you guys, once they clear out the rest of the riff-raff, will be able to head back to the city and put things back into order.
Oh, don't forget the dragon. We took care of that too.
oh,
Yeah.
So,
well,
do I see Hippo Daddy here?
you don't. You don't see any of the council members or that upper. When I said upper echelon of the guard, I meant like the vanguard.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, no, Hippo Daddy ain't there. That you can see at least.
So, yeah, and from past recollections, that crystal may play a major role in um, not only the power to the city, but for future endeavors. So
He
anything that you guys can do to reinforce the protection of that crystal when you get back to the city would be much appreciated.
he reassures you that the city, since the council no longer exists and he's the only remaining member, um, he's enacted that the city of Brawl is going to start moving, so it's harder to locate. Um, but assures every step will be taken to protect it, and if the crystal is needed at any point in the future to prevent this from occurring, all that you need to do is reach out, and they'll do everything they can. They're already working on alternate power sources. They're in the prototype phase, but they'll rush those along. So hopefully they won't have to rely on the crystal.
Good. And do me a favor and designate a couple guard to the um, religious district, so I don't have to come back and clean up the altar to our
Of
gods again.
of course, of course.
That
Somebody
was
had mentioned killing the solar dragon. At the
yeah.
mention of that, he goes, "Oh, thank you so much. Of course, a reward must be in order." And he goes over to a chest and flips it open and fumbles through. And you were each going to get these anyways. And he tosses each of you a small sack. If you glance open and take a look real quick, each sack contains 1,000 gold. So you can go ahead and add 1,000 gold to your treasury. And of course, the heroes of Brawl can't be sent off without a parting gift. Let's see, I've got a couple of things here, and he's rummaging through the chest and goes up to Yerndris and hands her, or him, sorry.
him.
I got it right, I corrected. Hands him a ring and goes, "I know how much you like your little beasties. This right here, I'll let you talk to them." And gives her him a ring of comprehending animal. Sorry, it's what the hell was it? A ring of animal influence with a little piece of
Hmm.
paper that will explain. It allows her to cast animal friendship, fear specifically on animals, and speak with animals up up to 3 times a day.
Andrews is gonna be so pissed for missing tonight.
She'll be all right. Next goes over to Fitz, or sorry, Willie. Willie's next. I got these coded so I know who they go to, and hands you a pair of boots. And goes, "I know how much you love running around. These will put a little
The
pep.
following is intended only for mature players.
These
Your
will
discretion.
put you in a little pep in your step. All you need to do is click your heels." Um, Hands you a pair of boots of speed. So as a bonus action,
I
you can click your heels together and double your walking speed.
That's what's up. So I will kneel down with the boots because I'm tall. I'll look him in the eye and I'll be like, Father, I will use these boots to the best of my ability to help the people around me.
He places his hand on the side of your head and chants a very brief blessing and moves on.
I'll
Next
stand back up.
next is Godric. To you, he hands you an amulet shaped to the symbol of Apollo and says, "My son, the Lord Apollo watches over you dearly. Hopefully, this will help." And he hands you an amulet of health, which, once attuned, Your Constitution score will be 19 while you wear the amulet, and that's it. But it boosts your Constitution so long as
Mm.
you wear it and are attuned to it.
Oh, somehow my attunement list jumped from 3 to 5.
I changed it because I don't agree with only being able to attune to 3 things, and I can't put it any higher than 5. If you notice,
Okay.
also, I pumped it up so you can get up to 3 inspiration points at a time.
Yeah, that I did notice previously, but yeah, I didn't notice. Cool, that's awesome because I was just thinking, what would I not
It's
wear in order to wear this amulet?
actually been like that for weeks. Nobody's noticed. But next, he steps over to Fitz, and he presents to you a headband, so like a simple headband, and in the center of the front is the symbol to Palor. And he hands it to you, and he goes, "This will help you anytime you need to talk to anybody." And explains that the headband will allow him to cast comprehend languages on yourself at any time. No limit.
Awesome. That would have come in very handy.
I'm putting these items on your inventory sheets as I'm going through each person, by the way. And last, Miss Holly, leader of this formidable group. I have 2 things for you. The first, and he pulls out a little box, or a decent sized chest, I guess, so maybe yay big, and opens it up, and within it you see the memory crystal that was in the archives. He goes, "As the only remaining council member, I feel your group can use this better than I can. Who knows who you may need to convince of your mission in the future. And second is something you'll only find here in the Astral Sea." And he pulls out a little glass shard about this big and hands it to you. He goes, "This is an astral shard. And what it is you can attune it to any object, tiny or larger, which will then allow you to use that object as your spellcasting focus. And if you use any of your meta magic things, like when you duplicate your spells or you hasten them or anything like that, immediately after you cast a meta magic spell, it allows you to teleport to an unoccupied space within 30 feet of you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's very well appreciated, and I'm sure that I would use it. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I only wish I had more for you. You've done so much for us, and you weren't even asked to do most of it.
We're all very grateful. Thank you.
Very well. Well, I don't want to keep you. I know it's a long journey. A little over a week to the tear. I know that's the direction you all are headed. I wish you the safest of journeys, and you received the resupplies, yes?
Did we?
Yes, we did.
Lovely, wonderful. Um, I just hope I can see you again sometime in the future. It's been lovely knowing you.
Likewise, thank you very much. Take care.
Anybody got anything else?
Look at this fucking thing.
All right. You all make your way back to the ship and cast off. The rest of the day goes smooth, without a hitch, no issues. Um, Sleep that night, and the next day is the first day of your week-long journey to the Tear. At the start of the day, you all gather on the top deck, have a little crew meeting, get everybody moved. Is that everybody? Yeah, it looks like everybody. Where's Fitz? Fitz, are you not on my map?
I don't think I am.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, there I am above Miss Holly.
um, just prior to the meeting starting, Baron is gonna step up to Willie and, hey, Willie, um, I recognize you have some experience upon the ships. But the rest of them don't quite seem to know what's going on here. If it'd be all right at the meeting, I'd like to take a chance to address that and perhaps assign tasks and duties for the individual members to learn so that the ship can run a wee bit smoother. I know you hired me and my kin to do most of the work, and we shall, but it might not hurt for y'all to learn just a little bit, just in case, and to help
Oh
me
no,
out.
I absolutely agree. We can't have him just being layabouts now. I'm not going to do all the work.
I well, we're happy to do as much as we can, but there be not but three of us may need assistance. So just didn't want to
Let's do it.
overstep. All right. So as the meeting
I'm,
begins,
I'm here for you.
he'll step forward and go, kind of go over the list of daily things. The hull needs checked for maintenance purposes, and the deck needs washed, scrubbed down, make sure that there aren't any jammer leeches attached to the hull. Um, Willie, I mean, you've been doing the navigator thing, so you're keeping an eye on the navigational system. Um, just basic care and maintenance type tasks. And of course, he then offers for some ship duty specific training if anybody wants it. So, he turns to you, Miss Holly, and goes, if you'd like help with or advice on how to navigate the ship better, perhaps, I'd be happy to walk you through it and teach you some of the tips and tricks for control. Luckily, we have Trevor to help, so it's not too steep of a learning curve for you. But the more you learn, the easier it is on everybody, and it turns to everybody else. If anybody's interested in, learning how the quartermaster function works, or learning some of the carpentry skills that go with being with the ship, or how the sails work, anything like that, just let us know, and we'd be happy to give you an education, seeing as it is your ship and you might want to know how it works.
Sounds great.
I mean, we have Quartermaster B. Shouldn't the Quartermaster know what to look for with inspections of the ship?
So the quartermaster's primary function is supplies, making sure that the supplies are monitored, are handed out properly, rationed basically. He also handles any wage issues, resupplying at the docks. He's like the point of contact between the ship and the docks to get resupplies, make sure the supplies are documented. He's a warehouse worker for all intents and purposes. And then the
Okay.
crew is responsible for maintenance and care of the ship and function of the ship itself.
Is inspection of the ship something the Quartermaster could do? Being that he's an
We're
automated system, I'd kind of like the idea of automated eyes being able to notice the difference between a good piece of wood and a crack in the wood that needs to be mended. You know what I mean?
So you're just having this as part of the general conversation.
Right.
Um, B is more than happy to help. Um, he doesn't have any experience in carpentry, however. All of his
Okay. Well,
training was in numbers and supplies.
okay, but the question I guess the question I'm asking without actually asking, so I'll just ask it. Can he be reprogrammed? Can this be added to his list of duties?
So don't
Like,
think robot in terms of our real world robots where you program a computer and it only
Yeah.
does what you, it's not like that. Like this is a living robot, an AI
Okay.
essentially.
Oh,
So
okay.
if he's gonna learn something, he needs to be taught it, and it's gonna take
Okay.
the same amount of time it would take you or anybody else to do it.
Okay. So, well, because here's my in-depth thoughts on the process. Is he's automated? You know, he may be an AI. Okay, great. But
AI is the wrong word. Autonomes
well,
function just like any other race. I mean, they have a couple of
okay.
racial traits to them, but I get what you're
Okay.
saying, and I understand where you're going with it.
Yeah, because if Treeborn is, actually putting his hands to work, he's going to be wore out and tired by the end of the day. I'm wagering that the automated guy isn't going to be as bad. And am I
Um,
wrong in that thought?
he, let me,
I don't know how that race works.
now you're
So,
making me pull it up. Hold on a second here.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I have a very important question.
Hmm.
Are you telling us we purchased a sentient being?
Essentially,
So the rat wasn't our first war crime.
it's not a war crime to hire a slave. And he's,
are you hearing yourself right now?
yes.
Seriously, the
Um,
words that are coming out of your mouth. Are you hearing yourself?
yeah. Hold on a second here. I'm looking up the autognome stuff. So he functions. Yeah, he functions like any other creature. As far as resting goes, it's a sentry's rest. So he just needs to spend 6 hours in an inactive, motionless state instead of sleeping. Um, he remains conscious during that time, but appears inert.
Okay.
So it's just
Okay.
like
Okay.
what's that race that I can't find anywhere? Like the war machines or whatever they were. The Warforged.
All right. Oh,
Yeah, well, for what about him?
He's very much like a Warforged to that aspect.
okay. 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 So,
But yes,
well, I mean,
he is a sentient being, and I would venture the way the conversation work is you didn't pay for him specifically, you just paid the rehoming fee to have him transferred to your ship.
right.
So
During that
it's
whole
not
entire
slavery.
process of getting him and putting him on the ship, it made it feel like he was a robot to me.
Yeah,
Essentially.
I
yeah.
can
I was
understand
really
the
under the impression that he was just like a golem type thing.
I can
Right.
understand your confusion. You should have asked more
Yeah.
questions before you
Look,
bought a slave.
Willie completely understood exactly what was happening. This is completely normal in the astral sea, and I don't understand what the big deal is.
Well,
I was like, this happens like literally every Tuesday.
oh, yeah, you and your Tuesdays. Okay, so Willie, we'll discuss this at a later date and time. This is a discussion that has a lot more aspects to it than what we need to deal with right now.
In
Right now, we're trying to deal with who's doing what on the ship.
in terms of
So,
Quartermaster B dealing with the inspections, he could, but it would be tacked on top of his Quartermaster responsibilities.
well,
Um,
I'm wagering if we're spending a week
Oh,
out in float, whatever you want to call it, astral seas, that he's not going to have to spend every waking minute going over our inventory.
no, but he's also handling the kitchen duties as well. So he does have other duties. I'm not saying he's
Okay.
busy from sun up to sun down.
Okay, so let's do this then. Then I will look at Quartermaster B and ask, would it be too much if we put inspection of the ship on your roster of things to do?
I don't have a voice for him. Yeah, he responds with, I'd be happy to help out. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I can't guarantee with cooking 3 meals a day that I'll have enough time to check the ship in its entirety for
Well, I'd
soundness.
love to take over and cook one of those meals for you. I'm
Uh,
passionate about
no,
food.
no,
I I'm going
no.
to run up.
Willie, make a perception check.
Okay, I think everybody's getting a little too excited.
When Willie says
No,
that, Roger's gonna say,
not yet.
"No, I've seen what you eat, buddy. No."
As Godric is saying no, no, you see two of the dwarves, Amber and Thorin, kind of throw up in their mouth a little bit, having witnessed what you've cooked firsthand previously.
That's not. That's hardly
Mm,
fair.
No,
I'm
let's have the
They do
bee
their
cook
best to
the
hold it
meal.
back. It's like,
I think one of us could maybe learn certain items and investigate, since we have nothing else to do, technically, while we are here. Let the
oh,
bee just do what the bee was hired to do, which is cooking and inventory. And then we'll just have one of us, and we can do maybe split the day, you know, half of the day. We have one investigating
okay.
around.
Um,
I,
okay. In character, I'm gonna look at Fitz, and Fitz, how's your eyesight, bud? And out of character, that means what's your perception?
uh, when using my shield, I get automatic advantage on perception checks.
Okay.
And I
What's
think I'm like +7, +6.
you? Okay, but without the shield, you're looking at like what, a +4, +5, somewhere in there.
Let's see.
it'd still be a
Or-
+7. He just wouldn't get advantage to it.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. So, maybe you would be better at that because out of character,
yes,
my perception is a +2.
yeah. In
So
fact,
my eyesight's not quite as good as yours
yeah,
when it comes to checking things.
yeah. Fitz. In fact, Fitz is going to run up. He's going to scoop me into a hug, and he said, "I will do the inspections. You quit picking on my new child." As I'm lovingly stroking his new tricorn hat.
I'm just
It's
gonna
okay.
shrug and walk away and be like, I just wanted to eat
All right. So okay. So Fitz will do an inspection of the ship every once in a while. B will keep doing his inventory and meals. Uh, Holly will keep with the navigation. What else do we need covered?
Really, it's just routine tasks. I mean, it's more about giving you the tools to run your own ship in the event that anything happens to us. Uh,
I'll hand Godric a mop.
it's not that
Yeah. Well.
it's not that we're trying to pass off our responsibilities to you. We're more than happy to be doing the work for the opportunity you gave us. We want to make sure that if anything were to happen to us, you'd still be okay. Teach you the skills
Okay.
that we know. That's all we're offering here. We're not
Okay.
trying to
While we're
assign you jobs. It's your ship. You assign us jobs. That's how this works. We're just trying to
yeah.
teach you as
Gotcha.
we go.
All right. Yeah. And as far as as I pan over our crew, and I notice that we have a shadow massive and a unicorn sitting there to our left. I'm gonna look at Yurndris and say, "You wanted the pets. You get the responsibilities of cleaning that section up, bud."
Yurndris is more than understanding and happy to do so, and also mentions that he is going to spend some time working with Hamish to see if he can get a couple of skills and tricks out of him over this next week. But if anybody needs
Sure.
anything from them, they just need to ask.
Um, I would like to point out that my Fey unicorn neither eats nor shits.
Okay, so
Yes.
just one mastiff to worry about.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I think maybe with a little training, as sadistic as he is, I could probably teach him to do some kind of rainbow sparkly shit on a dead enemy. But other than that, it's fully, optional for him.
Yeah.
I just imagine you're like, I got him to do it, but I have to load it myself, and it's just not worth it.
All right. Let's
Fit,
see.
hold on. Fitz, make a strength check while Godric's talking. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. So let's do this. Willie, You seem to be pretty good at smashing things. So would you mind putting your hands together with the repairs? And then uh Baron, if you wouldn't mind just in our spare time walking me around the ship and teaching me how all of this actually works.
I'd be happy to show anybody who's interested. Fitz, as you're holding B there, the weight of his metallic body starts to work against you, and you kind of fumble lower slash drop him to the ground at the same time. But it doesn't hurt him or anything. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, you're down now.
I would love to learn a little bit about the ship as well. I mean, I know I'm navigating, but maybe I can switch turns with Willie at times so I could also get familiarized just in case shit
Hey,
was hitting the fan. At least we can still make it through somewhat.
although Amber can't speak, she is quite the helmsman as well. If you ever need a break, just call for her. She'd be happy to take over.
Alright. And I mean, obviously, you know how the ship operates and what needs to be done. So as far as Amber and Thorn are involved, I would suggest you can designate what you have them doing.
Of course. Well, we're all the three of us pretty well rounded. The the only issue being that Amber and Thorn can't talk because they had their tongues cut out, of course. But they're all very proficient. I'll make sure they get designated to the appropriate duties. But I'd be happy to show the rest of you if you want to go now.
Yes, of course. And I'm pointing at Amber like, Amber, come here.
Duck, 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 duck.
Something like that.
She came there. What now?
Oh, she's here. I can't tell. Okay, I would need you to please stay here for a little bit and just steer around. Let us know somehow if something is going on
So
or
are you
have
pa-
mastiff trying to find us.
are you passing off the helm to her?
Yes.
Okay, so to do that, you need to touch her and pass the attunement to the spelljamming helm to her.
Okay.
That's just for your. I'm reminding you because I know it's been a few weeks
Oh,
since you read that
okay.
create spelljamming helm
Okay.
scroll. But that's
Totally forgot.
to pass the attunement. You just need to touch a person and will it to them.
Okay.
So, so chat. Let's update everybody on the chat. So, um, I'm assuming while I was talking about the animals, Whiteout chimed in. Oh my God, I'm so glad someone said it. Shenanigans laughed. Whiteout said, glad I wasn't the only one thinking it. Shenanigans said, nope. Shenanigans says, literally rainbow sparkly shits.
We'll get there.
Why
We'll
is
get there.
why is there sparkles and shit everywhere? So we sure that the unicorn doesn't, you know, have
It doesn't
any of
because
that?
it's a magical summoning.
So it makes a magical shit. That's what I mean.
Something like that.
The good shrooms grow from it.
Right?
But you guys spend the day walking around with Bairn, and he kind of talks you through the ship, the functions of the ship, the things to look for if you are doing any type of repair or inspection, anything like that. So we'll just go through the key points. He starts up at the top deck with the ballista, talks you through how to load it, how to aim it, how to fire it. Works a couple roped training spears so y'all can practice shooting at nothing, of course, but not losing any ammunition in the process. Uh, the big thing there is it takes three actions. Out of character, it takes three actions in combat to function the ballista: one to load, one to aim, and one to fire. So if multiple people are functioning on the ballista, you can get a shot off each turn. But if it's just one person, it takes 3 turns for one shot. So that's the ballista, and you guys can click the ballista link there up on the top, and you can see that one to load, one to aim, one to fire, and then it shows how much damage it does and the range on it and whatnot. And of course,
And looks like we got
Trevor's up there kind of pestering you guys while you're trying to learn about the ballista because he loves you and misses you, Godric.
yeah. While we're up there, look at Trevor and ask him how he's doing, finding everything okay.
Very, very broken common responses. He's still not quite up to par with the common language yet.
Yeah. Well, the more we talk to him, the better I'm hoping he gets. But
Absolutely. You all move down to the main deck then, where you currently are. He talks you over the sails. The big thing with this ship is there's no main mast, there's just the side sails. So there is a mast pole with a crow's nest about 30 feet up off the deck, but there's no main sail on it. The side sails are woven with astral fibers. They're meant to catch the astral winds, and that's what propels the ship. Um, he mentions this because a simple mending spell won't it'll repair the sail, but it won't repair the astral fibers. That's something that needs to be purchased and woven at an actual dock somewhere where they have that speciality, unless any of you purchase astral fibers at any point and are able to make those types of repairs. As far as the ship hull and inspection goes, it's real simple, and he ties a rope in a harness around his waist and ties it off to the mast and jumps overboard, and the low gravity starts doing its thing once he's off the ship. And he's like, this is it. This is simple, as he goes down under the ship and comes back up over the other side. And he goes, you just do that a couple of times and look as you go. And I mean, it took him probably a full minute, 2 minutes to go around and come back up. Pretty slow. He's like,
So as he's doing that, can I just like casually crawl over the edge of the ship and just like crawl around it?
oh yeah, absolutely.
if your
You
claws
might.
put a if your claws put a hole in the side of the ship, dude, I'm
It's
telling
more
you.
like Spider-Man, actually.
I hope.
Yeah,
Can we
it's weird.
try anything silly right now? Just
I was
because.
like, I'm gonna be like, I could probably just take this one over. It's like I am pretty well equipped for this particular task. I'll like crawl back over to the top side of the ship.
Yeah, you can crawl all over the whole ship. You can do whatever you want. It's your guys' ship. But he goes,
I like that.
that's how we do it. We just inspect the exterior. Jammer leeches like to latch onto the hull out here in the astral sea, and it's
That's that's what I've been using to cook with is those astral leeches. Like I'll pull them off and just fry them up. Are you guys sure you do not want me to do this? Like I could easily do breakfast.
Spider pig
No, no,
does
I'm
whatever.
I do.
okay
I
with.
will. I check the ship in the morning. 6:30. I'm in the galley making breakfast. 30.
I tell you what, Willie, you can cook on Wednesdays.
Yeah, we got I got rations in my bag for Wednesdays. Yeah, we're good.
You guys got like 80 rations worth in the inventory. So
Yeah, but you
current
said
current
that
ship
the rations that are
inventory.
in there will be turned into the meals. And I'm sorry, but I've seen what Willie eats. I'm not
Uh,
no.
so you have 2 crates of rations. Each crate holds 50 days worth of rations for one
Mhm.
person.
Yeah.
So
And,
for
and
the 5 of you, that's 10 days per.
and let's keep in mind every day is Tuesday for Willie.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not like he's killing a creature right now. We're gonna find some eyeball in our stew. Let's be
Um,
real. So,
Last time I checked, he's got a head in his bag, right?
yeah, but that's for
So
decoration purposes for his little cabin.
Yeah, well, I might have a head. I actually probably put it in the, like a crate or something. I'm not a savage. I'm not I'm not uncouth, Godric. I know how you guys feel about me carrying around the heads of my enemies. It's okay.
I'm
I
okay about
get
you
it.
carrying it. I'm
It's a
not
prime
okay about
it's
eating
a
part of it.
it's a prime material plane thing. So I got
my
you.
my concern with you carrying around the heads is one day they end up in the stew. So
Um,
I mean, because
do
you
you do you
went on a whim
understand
one
what
day.
a delicacy is? You can't just go and start with a delicacy. No, you have to age it to perfection.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
So
One
I'm
day you
probably gonna be
decide.
eating it.
One day, yeah, one day he decides. Uh, yeah, it's aged enough. It's time to add it to the stew. And then next thing we
And
know,
what? You're like,
all,
oh, this is the best stew I've ever had, Willie. You have ruined other stews for me, and now I have to go and become a gourmet headhunter? Is that your fear, Godric?
see, this, we're just gonna
I
stop
think we're
there.
not just gonna be probably shading rainbows. We might be shading other things, but I think for now, let's just. It is what it is, and Willie, we have a bee. If you get bored one day and you want to, maybe put something together, just let Gotrek be there with you, show them some
We'll
cooking
we'll make
techniques.
we'll make pirate cupcakes, Godric. I'll share the secret pirate recipe with you.
Oh my God.
the secret ingredient is scurvy.
We'll we'll discuss it on when the day comes. Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll just call it good. Call it good.
I'll just like smile and nod. I'm like, yes, 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 pirate cupcakes. It'll be delicious.
For the record, Baron just kind of stands back and looks very uncomfortable during this entire back and forth. Like when you go
I'm
over to
sure
your
he
when you
is.
go over to your friend's house and your friend's mom starts yelling at your friend and you're just like sitting there on the couch like
Okay, like I think at this point we're on episode 29, which that tells me that's 29 episodes where we have determined that Godric already has issues with the food of the astral planes. Now you want to mix in Willie's unique ingredient choices. Okay?
Gotrek,
There's a
I think
problem for Godric. It's a problem for Godric, okay?
we'll get there when we get there. For now, we'll figure it out.
you know,
Let's just
Okay.
some
take it
players
day
are
by day.
drunk, some players are arsonists. Godric has a foodophilia. It's that simple.
Well, while we're in the astral planes, yes, yes.
So once you guys finish with your bickering argument, whatever you want to call it, Baron continues walking you through. It shows you that the decks need scrubbed more to keep dust and whatnot because there's no salt water in the astral sea, obviously, but it keeps the wood nice, keeps it from bowing and rotting and that kind of stuff. It's almost like a finishing component that's used, not like water and soap. Then he takes you guys below deck and starts showing you the structures and the support beams. And everybody either make me a perception or a nature check, whichever one you want. Okay, yeah, perfect. You're all able to see everything. He shows you a couple of like minute stress fractures in some of the support beams. He's like, this is the kind of stuff you're looking for right here. We just want to make sure we get this patched up or reinforced right away. If it's small, call me or one of my kin, and we'll come and mend it real quick. And as he shows it to you, and you're able to see what he's talking about, he puts a mending cantrip on it, and you see it go away right away. It just happens over time. It's just something we want to make sure we nip in the butt before it becomes a problem.
Actually, mending is actually something I can do.
Oh, there you go.
That is a cantrip that
You have a purpose.
yes. Yes, I can do mending spells. But
Do
as
you
as
have
we're
mending though? Because you can't change your cantrips every day. You do
no,
have
it's
it.
it's a permanent cantrip. Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Actually, I think it came from being a life cleric,
That would check
so
out.
it's permanently on my
Um,
list. Yeah.
real
But
quick, top left
with that,
corner, top left corner of the map. Can you guys click the link for the Lyra inventory? I made it shareable, but I don't know if it'll let you guys open it because it's a parcel.
I have the one that's next to the crew and costs.
Where is this?
Oh, did I put it on there twice? There should be one like literal top left corner.
There is one, but we can't click it.
Okay.
Well, I can't. I don't know about everybody
I'll
else.
make it back private. I forgot I made a second one. Never mind. I was just going to remind you of the inventory, but you guys can see the list up there. You were given 2 barrels of ale and an extra crate of rations.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you already had 10 ballista bolts, 10 lamps, and 60
Well,
lamp oil.
while we are discussing mending the ship, though, I remember when Trevor first took the ship over. Didn't he do some mending to the ship on his own?
So he grew into the ship.
Yeah,
It,
and like
it
essentially mended things, if I remember correctly. Boards that were rotted out became solid, and
so that was more of like magical overtaking would be the best way to describe it than an actual repair of the ship.
so it's not something he can do on a regular basis.
Correct. It was more
Okay.
of a he took the ship and made it part of himself type thing than he repaired what it was.
Okay.
The best
That's
way to think about it at this point is any damage to the ship is damage to Trevor. So by healing the ship, you're healing Trevor.
okay.
Is there
That
any
was
way that I can check if there was any big, um, like any big issues that maybe
Oh no,
oh
there,
yeah,
had
because
there's
some big repairs or something? Is there any way for like something that maybe was just a little patch just to kind of
so yeah, no, there's no big issues at this point. When you guys got back to Brawl with the ship the first time, it was touched up for you. Anything major
okay,
was taken care of. At this point, it's just daily maintenance, checking for those small
okay,
stress fractures, making sure that nothing's latched onto the hull of the ship. It's just keeping it in top performance at this point. There's nothing wrong with
okay.
the ship per se.
Basic maintenance, basically
Yep.
maintaining it.
Mhm.
Okay,
okay.
And
okay.
that's it. He
And the person at the helm with the spelljammer helm on,
yeah,
you said knows everything that's going on with the ship. Is
correct.
there no way they can determine those type of things?
So they can. Um, Sometimes they can't pinpoint them though.
Okay.
So like they know if the hull's breached. They can tell you exactly where that is. If something latches onto the hull, they know that it might be port side up towards the bow, but they wouldn't be able to tell you it's 3 planks up from the merge line. You, they'll just be able to
Whatever
tell
that
you
means,
it's
but okay.
the merge line is so you got your ship and it comes down and where it
We're not
meets
going to
at
go
the
over
bottom.
boat anatomy today, please.
It's just where it meets at the bottom. The point off the bottom,
Okay.
that's the merge line.
Okay.
That's simple. They can get you a general, hey, it's up over there somewhere, but you're still gonna have to go look. And even if they could pinpoint it, you're still gonna have to go do it. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
or somebody will have to go do it.
Question for the crew. Are we going to have any like night watch or anything like that? Or do we think it's not necessary at the moment to do that?
Uh, Baron says that
Not really.
it's normal protocol that there's always a fire guard, at least somebody to make sure that if something catches fire, it can be handled quickly. Uh, Typically, just one person does the trick as well as a lookout.
Do we have like emergency water barrels stashed around the ship in case of a fire on different levels in different places?
Yep,
We get
there's at least one water barrel both at the front and back end of the ship on each deck level of the ship.
perfect. Okay.
So it would be you've got your guys' stair lines. So this is your
Okay.
rear stair line and this is your front stair line.
Okay.
And at that point on each level of the ship, except for the very bottom, at the very bottom, there's just this water barrel right here.
Okay. If uh when we're doing the inspections, if we can add check the water barrels on the list for evaporation.
Wise choice. Wise choice. We'll make sure it gets done.
Okay.
And of course,
Because last se-
just let Quartermaster B know if they're running a little low, and he'll top them off. That's part of his duties.
that would be great. Well, I'm just thinking wild magic caster on board, so you never know. You just never know. Be prepared.
For sure, for sure.
Can our bee take care of having a little bowl of water for a little mastiff on each deck just to make sure that wherever he goes, he has his water?
So Yurndris is taking care of Hamish the entire time. Like
Completely. Okay.
that is all he is focused on is he wants Hamish to be
Okay.
able to pull his weight and contribute. So he's working on
Got it.
doing some training with him, which I just rolled his first training roll and it was not good, unfortunately.
So in that case, as long as Yurndris has a bowl and
Yeah,
his water skin with him, he can handle
Yurndris
that.
will take care of Hamish. You don't gotta worry about that at all. Hamish.
Yeah,
So
Hamish.
but that takes, maybe the first half of the first day of travel. Anything you guys are up to?
Um, I mean, I'll head down to my little quarters and get some praying in because I like to do that every day.
Okay. Pam, you wanted to learn some maneuverability stuff.
Yes.
So Amber passes back control to you, and you work with Bairn for the rest of the afternoon. Go ahead and make a just a straight. Well, for you it'd be charisma roll, just to see how the training go, because it's magic based and charisma is your magic. So just see how the training goes for the day.
Not that well.
It's not horrible. It's a little rough. Luckily you've got Trevor kind of there pulling at least half the load for you. Um, but he kind of takes you over the basics of maneuverability. Your roll to the lefts, roll to the rights, because it's almost like flying a plane, being in the astral sea, not just steering a boat or a ship. But it takes a little work, and he reassures you and says that work on it again every day if you want, um, just to get you a little more fluid with it.
Thank you, Baron. I appreciate it.
All right. Fitz, what are you up to today for the back half of the day there?
I am going to see if Godric can help me out with some learning some cantrips. Um, and then after that, I think I'm going to take Sir Fluffy Butt and introduce him to Trevor.
Okay. I went ahead and moved your character down there next to Godric if you want to do that first.
All right. Yeah. So,
Catch him before he
so
gets into his prayer trance.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Goddard, I was just wondering if you could help me out. I'm trying to learn some cantrips. As a paladin, there's a certain fighting style I can use that actually gives me allows me to cast some. But I need to learn some first, so I didn't know if there was any way you could help me out with that.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I mean, every spellcaster's different, but I mean, paladins and clerics, we both um, essentially turn to our gods and our faith to project our magic. So, I mean, I would definitely start off by making sure that your bond between you and your uh, god is strong. Um, I mean, I suppose something as simple as a mending spell would probably be a good start for you.
Yeah, that sounds great. You're the expert here, man. I'm gonna follow your
Okay.
lead.
Well,
So
let's
I'm going to
do we
interject just a tiny bit because what we discussed, Fitz, isn't learning the cantrip. It's learning how to focus the divine energy of your deity into a cantrip, if that makes sense.
right. Yeah, and
I, I,
and
just, I just wanted to clarify for viewers with what's going on there.
yeah, so my intentions were to like obviously the discussion we just had, and then possibly go find one of those minor um, breaks in the ship, and then cast mending on it, and let him watch me cast it and see how I do what I do. So it's kind of a monkey see, monkey do on top of explaining how it works.
Yeah, however you want to
Is
teach
it,
him, go
does
for it.
that teaching style work? So all right,
It's
so
worth a shot.
yeah, that's
Looks
okay.
like we're gonna
Well,
find out.
yeah, let's go see if we can find a stress fracture that we need to repair, and I'll, we'll go over it.
Make a perception or nature, the two of you, and see if you guys can find one.
16 for perception.
Yeah, there's one right there, right next to your bed space.
Oh, perfect, perfect.
It's just
Here's a
it's
prime
not
example.
it's just a little hairline fracture right on the wall.
Perfect. So what I okay, so I go into my spell casting, and I'm because I'm uh, the abilities that I have. I'm going to keep the sword and shield away and just use the standard cleric casting. Use my uh, one of my amulets as my focus.
Okay. Yeah, so
And yeah,
you take your amulet and whisper your quick word of praise to Apollo and reach your hand out to touch the hairline crack, and underneath your hand it seals up as though by magic.
so I mean that's the simple basics on just put faith in your God and your beliefs that what needs to be done will be done, and give it a little bit of encouragement and use what you need to do to focus those powers to make it happen.
Fitz, with your 22 perception, you notice another little crack in a board, just behind you there on the wall. If you wanted to give it a shot, just give me a straight charisma roll. As we discussed, it's a DC 15 to see how you do there.
Okay, and that's the ability, not
Yep,
the save, right?
correct.
Okay.
So the left side of the main tab. So you trying to do the same thing that Godric does. You touch your Order of Palar emblem and whisper a prayer and put your hand out, and you can feel Palar's presence but the presence doesn't transfer through to mend like you're trying to will it to do.
As I witness this attempt, I'll put my hand on his back and say, "It's a good try. Maybe spend some time um, reacclimating yourself. Praying to your gods and strengthen your bond. And we can try again. What tomorrow? Would you say every day, right?
I'm giving you guys you can work this out twice a day for training sessions to get rolls
Okay.
in.
Well
So
then, we'll try a little bit later tonight. Then, how about that?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I felt the connection. I couldn't get the
Yeah.
connection from my heart to my hand, but I felt it. So
Well, that's a very good start. Very very good start. So we'll get you there. We'll get you there.
all right. Well, thank you, Godric. I appreciate all your help here.
Oh, you're welcome. Not a problem. Anytime. And I'll turn to my little space and start adjusting for my prayers.
all right, and then Fitz, you were gonna take Fluffy Butt up to meet Trevor.
Yeah, I thought a Trent and a Faye, they ought to get along well.
Yeah, they should. Willie, what are you up to?
So I'm just gonna go over to this table and I'm gonna double check the location of the rift and the astro waves that I have to work out our location and just make sure that we are in fact pointed in the right way as the navigator.
Yeah, you sit down and do some navigation skills, and oh, you got to check for me.
That was a good check.
You guys are going good.
That's a good
Fantastic.
thing. I mean,
We have our heading, Captain.
I just so I I stand at the table for like 5 or 10 minutes because you guys are over there doing your thing and you see me do it. And it's like I turn around and just walk away and I'm like, yeah, it looks good. We're definitely moving. Walk on out.
Okay.
That's it.
Anybody who passes by the top deck during this time frame sees Yurndris working with Hamish, and you're just working on like basic obedience type skills, sit, stay, and Hamish just isn't having it. He is all over the place. He's never been on a ship. He's never been not in a cage or ripping something's throat out. So he's just kind of all over the place and just not having it.
I'll go around. Let's like walk in a large circle. Go down.
can I call Hamish and kind of be
Well,
like, "Come
you're
here, boy,
you're
come here."
training during this time frame. So you spend the entire afternoon training with Baron. Everything else that we're going over is stuff that happens during that time frame.
So I'm not able to see what's going on
Oh,
that side.
you're able to see and hear everything going on the ship, but you're in the chair at the helm while you're doing it.
Okay, I'm in the moment. Got it.
Yeah, there's no secrets from you while you're in control of the ship.
That's interesting.
Fit.
I know exactly what I want to do. So as I was going down these stairs, I had the idea. I'm gonna take the head that I had, that Cambrian head,
Okay.
and I'm gonna climb out here to the front of the ship because I just climb like fucking monkey. I'm gonna climb out to the
Like
end
out
of the
here.
mast there, and yeah, and I'm just gonna like I'm either gonna like use some rope or hang it there or just like get it on the edge and stick it on there somehow.
You
I'm just
could
gonna put it on there
definitely
like a mascot.
you could definitely just pike it on the tip of that.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect.
Like a pirate
Nice.
ship.
Most people do
Yeah,
mermaid figurines, but whatever. It's cool.
Okay, I
yeah,
like that.
that's
That's
it. Nice
cool.
little Cambrian head. I'll be like, whatever, and I'll walk back dissatisfied, and I'll just kind of shrug as I jump down to myself because I'll be like, yeah, just said I couldn't eat it.
Any cloth or anything to make like a little flag?
Not quite that crafty. Sorry. Yeah, I'll probably just go get some grub if there's any available, and then head to my little quarter over here, which is there. That's
That's you.
it.
All right. Um, you're hanging out in your quarters. Fitz, any type of particular conversation or introduction you want to have with Trevor or Fluffy Butt? Or just
Uh,
kind of doing a general get to know each other vibe?
yeah, I'm just kind of bringing him up and hey Trevor, talking to him in Elvish, and this is Sir Fluffy Butt. He's a Fey unicorn, and he's very soft and fluffy, and he loves to stab things with his head. You know,
All right. Yeah. I mean, Trevor is excited to meet anybody who's a friend of the crew's and can't particularly communicate with Sir Fluffy Butt. There's just a little bit of a disconnect there. It's like they both speak the same languages. They just speak different dialects of it. So there's just not really much communication going on, but they seem pleasant to each other. All
well,
right.
I just wanted to introduce them.
Sounds good. All right. So it's getting up around supper time. Quartermaster B has food to serve if anybody wants food. Anything else anybody is up to or wants to do particularly? Anybody want to learn anything about the ship specifically or practice anything?
Do we have already like assigned cabins for everybody?
Uh, Willie, Fitz, Yerndris, and Godric
Like
have all
once
taken
upon a
cabin.
time there was, yeah.
Yeah. So where everybody is as far as cabins goes currently is the ones that they chose. The dwarves have been sleeping down in the bottom deck. Amber and Thorin are husband and wife, so they share a space there. And then Baron sleeps across from them. So these are basically the rooms that everybody's taken for themselves. The only one who's really declared a space for them is Mike, because Godric set up a little shrine to Apollo in his space.
Got it.
So, all right. Well, if nobody's
Any
up,
cleaning area?
I mean, now strictly speaking, I have my mind flayer head in a jar in the room, so
okay.
that's like a shrine to Apollo.
It's more of a shrine to Willie, but okay. I'll I'll pay it. I'll
Whatever
buy
is
it for $1.
adjacent.
I will buy it for $1, and I will work on putting notes on whose room is whose here. So, um, so it's getting into the evening. Y'all are starting to get tired. I assume you're gonna set a watch for the night.
Yeah, so after I'm just gonna let everybody kind of have dinner, and then I'll kind of be the last one to like have dinner, and then I guess I can call Amber to continue navigating while I take some rest to at least eat.
Okay.
I was asking earlier if there's any washroom area for
There
the crew.
is. It is the mid deck towards the back.
Okay, where Willie was
So
before?
no,
No,
right there,
can see.
right below where you are currently on the map.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
There's not much in there. There's like a little half barrel that some water can be added to if you wanted to take like a bird bath, and a wash basin for you to kind of clean yourself a little bit. There's also a bucket with some very specific staining to it. You assume this is also the loo, the poop deck.
Got it. Okay, we got a bathroom, guys.
Yay, horse bath for everybody.
Dude, what?
We just established that this room right here, behind Fitz and Yindras's room on the mid deck, is the bathroom slash washroom. There's a little hatch in the wall and a bucket on the floor where you do your business and then throw it out, as well as like a half barrel that some water can be put in and a wash basin to clean yourself up at.
Oh, okay.
I was just kind of wondering and asking if we had like a little wash area for ourselves. So important to know.
Yeah, there's only the one though, so do with
It's
that
okay.
what you
One,
will.
it's enough. That's all we need.
But
We'll manage.
we are evening time, Mike. It is post supper. If there's anything else you wanted to do, I think you and Fitz were going to try to train one more time, but we were also
Yes.
working on establishing a fire guard or a watch order for the evening.
Okay.
But you guys want to train again? Is there any conversation you want to have, or do you just want to make the roll and, for brevity's sake, go through it?
I mean, if we're gonna do it, I want to do it right, obviously. So I definitely want to find some more fractures. I'll
Okay.
get it out yet to practice on because we need to have to we need a way to make sure that what he's trying to do actually happens. I don't want him to try and cast a cantrip on something and it not be visible.
Mhm. So
That's kind of
just
I
for the
mean
just for the
I
record, you
can
don't have to find one of those stress fractures to practice mending. It just has to be some type of tear or break no larger than 1 foot in any dimension. So you could,
absolutely.
I mean, you could tear your blanket a couple inches and be like, here, try it on this, just for record's sake. But if you
I
want to keep trying to find stress fractures, feel free.
I mean, two birds, one stone.
Okay, there you
If
go.
we find stress fractures, so matter of fact, there was another one that he didn't fix. How about we just go back to the one that he
Okay,
didn't fix and we try
yeah.
again?
Fitz, go ahead and
Yeah.
give me a charisma check. Let's see.
With me trying to pray with him, would it give him any kind of advantage on that roll?
Um,
I mean, I'm
you
trying to
know
help
what?
him here.
I would, for emotional support and you both being very spiritual individuals, I would say being there and hand on his shoulder, kind of like praying with him, not helping him with the spell per se, but praying with him, I would give him
Yeah.
advantage on his charisma check.
All right. Perfect. I'm going to do that. Put my hand on his shoulder. You can do this, buddy. I know you can.
I
I
know it too.
I will rule though, I will only allow the advantage for 2 of the 5 checks he needs to complete the change. Because at some point he's gonna have to learn to do it on his own.
Of course. Of course.
Okay. Come on. There we
Double 16s.
go. Ow.
That does it.
Didn't need
It
it this time.
it takes a minute. Godric puts his hand on your shoulder and just starts a general prayer with you, and you touch your emblem to Palor and say a little blessing to him and ask for the power to begin transformation so you can assist his image and put your hand out on the stress fracture you found previously and start praying intensely to Palor. And it takes a solid minute, and in that minute, I mean, you start sweating profusely, and then you just feel this puff of relief come over your body, and you remove your hand from the wall, and the stress fracture you had seen previously is gone.
Hey.
Roll a Constitution saving throw, Fitz.
Um, So that'd be a 20.
That is correct. That was rough. You feel as though as if you weren't in such pristine physical shape, that would have just taken it out of you and you would have been done. Like just exhausted, done. But you feel okay. I mean, you feel worn down a little bit, but like post workout worn down, not I just got the crap beat out of me, worn down.
I feel like the way you've described this whole situation, it's like when constipation finally breaks.
Mhm. No, I feel like that is accurate. Absolutely.
So that's what I just have to get the blockage out of my system so that the holy magic can flow out.
Just gotta break the dam. That's all.
All right, all right.
Just gotta eat some of Willie's food, and that's it. That will do it for you.
Clear you right out.
That's true. Holy magic will be coming out of every hole on my body.
All right. Anybody doing anything else before Night Watch takes over?
Oh, by the way, Gotrick, Willie went ahead and the skull that he had, the head, it's hanging. It's like we have a pirate ship right now, just so you know.
He put the Cambion head on the spear point of the ship. He piked it.
Just so you know.
His
We're
face.
pirates.
Because you said I couldn't eat it. It's at least we can use it for something. It looks good. Willie was proud of his decision and sacrifice as a good gesture to you, sir.
I asked if maybe he had cloth or something, we could make a little flag, but he, it's just the head will do it. And, you know,
Look at it this way. Maybe the bad guys come, they see that head, they're like, "Oop, no, we want to go fuck with somebody softer than that. We don't want to go that
something
hard.
like that. It's for protection purposes, you know? You never know.
It's saving lives."
Hmm. So that's all I had to say.
Hmm. I could have gone without knowing. Like, 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 like
I wish
Jacob
we
could
could
have
have
like
supper
had me
tonight
roll a
and
perception check to notice it, and hopefully I would have failed and not noticed it, and I would have been
well,
fine.
your supper tonight, you can
No.
know for sure that
When
at least the head is not there.
when
So
Miss
you can
Holly
eat.
finally handed off control of the helm to Amber, so she got a chance to relax and eat supper, she came over. She's like, "You're never gonna guess what Willie did. It's so
Mm,
awesome." And she said it just like
Just like
tot-
that.
Like totally, dude.
that.
It's like
Totally.
we have a pirate ship. Like, what? Who are we? Yeah.
Oh, good lord! Like, I. Okay, I'm gonna retain my rage. I'm gonna retain the rage, and I'm just gonna put it away for now in a little box in the back of my mind, and just leave it alone for now.
I'm just eating, staring at Gotrick like, dude, that was, it's cool. Just, yeah,
Mm.
he's not having it. Got it. Okay. And then I'll just continue eating like I didn't say anything.
Love it. I love you guys having a chance to interact with each other. It's amusing. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm just gonna put this out there, Miss Holly. You should know me by now. I'm a very religious man, and putting heads out on display isn't exactly a very holy thing to do.
But, like Fitz said, if we have any enemies away, maybe that would drift them away.
Hmm. Okay.
It, and after all, Apollo does believe in swift and brutal justice to those who bring wrong upon other people.
Are mm, mm. Are we really going to get into that discussion right here at dinner time?
I'm just saying.
For brevity's sake, if you're going to have the discussion, you have it off camera. Because we could sit here for the next 5 sessions just bickering back and forth about that.
Yes, we can. But
I'm I'm gonna DM rule that if that conversation happens, it happens off camera. So
Ah,
the
you
night.
know, there's some theological dork
Oh
in
yeah,
the chat right now who's disappointed because he's like, oh, damn it, I wanted to hear this.
maybe not my chat, but a chat out there, definitely. So the night comes, and it's time for you all to retire. What order are we doing watch? Keep in mind, if you're just doing an 8-hour overnight, there's the 5 of you and the 4 hired crew members that can do watch. So there's 9 of you total that can take a watch.
I think we put enough strain on the crew as it is to keep the ship going that I would like to see them get their rest, and us main adventurers will take the watches. If anybody objects to that idea, please speak up. But at this point, that's my 2 cents on the subject.
Okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yes, I agree.
Alrighty. So what order are you guys going in?
Mm,
And how do you want to do the shifts with there only being 5 of you? Do you just want to do 2-hour shifts for 10 hours?
That
as long
sounds
as we
fair.
as long as we can get a full, everybody can get a full 8 in. Yes,
That's how everybody would get the full 8. Yeah. So okay, who's going
perfect.
first?
I will.
All right. Roll a D100.
74.
All right. Roll a D100 again, please.
20.
And roll a D12.
A 1.
Beautiful. While you're up on the main deck for your shift, sorry, language has been hard this week. Um, off the starboard side, which is right for anybody who's not familiar with nautical terms, the right side of the ship, uh, you see some Chewinga astronauts sailing by on sea guppies. And give me just a second. I will share an image. But this is what you see. And there's a little pod of them. 7 of them, to be exact. So 7 sea guppies and 7 chewingas. And they're just sailing by. They've got fishing lines out in the water, and every once in a while you see them look at you. But they just keep floating along.
I'm just going to watch them because I don't know what the hell they are or what the hell they're capable of. But if it looks like they're just floating along fishing,
Make an
just
insight
keep
check.
an eye out. Those I can do. 19.
Yeah, they're just fishing. You know, it's like running into somebody at the lake for you or me, real life out of character. They're out there trying to catch some stuff. But
All right. Well,
they're floating off the opposite direction that your ship is heading, and you know it only takes maybe 5-10 minutes, and they're out of eyesight.
okay. Well, while they are within eyesight, I'm not going to like stare at them or anything. Just kind of be
Keep
aware that they're there
keep
and keep
casual about
tabs.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, the rest of your watch goes off without anything of note, and you retire. Who is up next?
I can go next.
Okay. Roll a d100.
Are you going to use the Astral Sea map and new
Dep-
map?
depends on what you guys roll.
Oh, okay.
Nothing happens during your watch, Miss Holly.
Thank God.
You don't see or know anything.
Love it.
Who's up next?
I will go.
All right.
Aha, I beat you to it. Yes, you wish. You wish. Go back. I just closed your door as you opened it. I'm just like, I have this one.
Okay.
All right, Willie, roll a d100 for me. 54. Go ahead and roll it one more time.
Hope I get to eat chewingas.
Let's see. Bear with me. Roll 2d6 for me. 5. During your watch, you see a space galleon kind of floating across perpendicular to the Lyra. Make a perception check for me. Beautiful. You immediately recognize, and this ship is like 3,000 feet off. Like you can barely spot it, but you pull up a spyglass and take a look at it. You recognize this as the space galleon Eleventh, uh, which is a crewed by a cult and captained by Zorfa Elven Eyes. And you're familiar, they do some piracy out of necessity, but they don't actively troll for other ships. And as you look through your spyglass at the ship, you can see that their captain sees you or somebody sees you, and they just keep along on the heading that they were on.
They're
Can,
like, nope,
can,
don't
can,
want another
can,
Willie.
can I use my piracy skills to assess if we could overtake them, slaughter them, and have a second ship?
Yeah, that'll be an insight check. Add advantage because
Uh,
you have piracy background. You knowing what you know about the ship, I mean, you don't know the specifics of how many crew members they have, but you know that space galleons are built to take hits and built to give the hits right out too. And there's a good chance that even if you all survive the fight, the ship would be much worse for wear in doing so.
I'll just keep an eye on them until they're out of sight.
Okay. Yeah, it takes maybe 20-30 minutes. The ship moves pretty slow, but it's larger so you can see it longer, and it's gone into the blackness of the emptiness of space.
That's mostly satisfactory. I'll say like 40-60.
Yeah, the rest of your watch goes by without any incident or items of note. And Fitz, you are up. Go ahead and give me that roll. Roll a d8 for me. You see a pod of brown scabbers float by during your watch, and they look like this.
Ooh.
Sharks?
Kind of. Yeah, I'd say shark is the best way to describe it.
Hmm.
Food.
Wonder what they taste like.
We can have Willie try.
I was muted. That bottom one looks like an eel with fins. And of course, it would be willy food.
So the brown ones are the ones on the upper left-hand side, facing to the left. There's different varieties to scabbers. These are the brown ones that you're seeing. And it's a small pot of them. It is, I'll tell you exactly how many you see. There's 2 of them. So there's a pair, not a pod, sorry.
I guess I'm just gonna watch them, kind of keep an eye on them, see what.
We got fishing gear.
And
Yeah.
rope. I have a lot of rope.
As a minute or 2 passes, they're just kind of swimming alongside from the ship, maybe 100, 200 feet out from the ship, seemingly indifferent to your presence. They're just going where they're going.
So they're swimming like dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they don't seem to be causing any problems, so I don't think I'm really gonna mess with them either.
Okay. Yeah, they keep swimming parallel to the ship for a while. Something to keep an eye on, but they don't get any closer or cause any problems, and eventually they kind of peel off and go away from the ship and disappear into the darkness. And the rest of your watch goes off without any issues. And last up is Mr. Yindris. Since you guys can't see my rolls, do one of you want to roll the D100 for Yindris?
I can do it.
Okay. I know Mike calls me out on that a couple of times, but fuck you, so.
Well, you should be able to make them visible.
I can, I just
Isn't there a
don't want
button
to.
for that? Yeah. Oh.
Roll a D6, Pam.
Oh boy.
Ooh, a 1. Roll. Stand by. At some point through Yundris's watch, you're not sure when or what time it is or anything like that, but you hear Yundris shout, "Incoming!" And then there's a loud smash into the side of the ship. And I need everybody to roll me a Constitution check. And as long as you roll higher than a 10, roll an initiative. Actually, everybody roll initiative regardless.
So initiative and constitution check?
Yep.
I have a problem with that.
What's that?
You gave me the new amulet that's supposed to get me up to 19, and my con is still at 12.
Go to your main tab and change the 12 to 19. You just click in the
I-
box and type it.
Oh, okay. Never
No,
mind.
Yeah, there you go.
I did not succeed.
I did not know that was a possibility, but okay.
All right. Good. Not good. good. So Willie and Fitz, you did not hear Yerndris shout, nor did you feel the ship rock. Godric and Holly, you both woke up.
Okay. I immediately start putting my armor on.
I go investigate where the noise came from.
Give me 1 second here. I gotta get. Sorry, a lot of moving pieces. Give me just a second. Beautiful. Miss Holly, you would have been at the Spelljammer's home, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I'm going to share a second map. This is our wonderful combat map. None of you can see anything, unfortunately. But one of these Kindoris just slammed into the side of the ship. So we are top of initiative order. Miss Holly, you're up by the ballista on this map, but you're.
Did you ask for initiative?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I rolled one.
No, it doesn't look like you did.
Nope, I'll give you one.
Yeah, that's an initiative, all right.
Yeah.
Part of the conversation you had with the Treeborns and B yesterday was that actions on contact for them, unless told otherwise, they will remain below deck and patch holes as they can during combat. So unless you want them up top doing something, that's what they will actively do during combat.
Well, being that my stall is right next to where apparently they sleep, because that's what it looks like on the
Yep.
ship map. As I'm putting my armor on, I'll ask them to go up top and man the ballista until we can get up there and figure out what's going on.
You're not going to ask them to help you put your armor on since it takes 10 minutes to do so?
I mean, I suppose Amber can stick around and give me a hand.
Okay.
But I'd rather have them, majority of them, upstairs at the ballista. Because
Okay.
I don't know what's going on up there. So for all I know, there's another ship up there trying to take us out. And, you know, yes, I want to get up there in a hurry, but
Okay. So one of them will stay to help you, and that'll basically it'll just be one round to get your armor on then.
appreciate it. Yeah, that'll work.
All right. So Miss Holly, you are up. You
I'm
are in the
gonna-
spell jamming helm, so to see anything, you'll have to step the 20, 30 feet up to see what's going on. You're aware that something hit the ship, but it doesn't. Your spell jamming bond doesn't tell you what it was that hit the ship.
I need to physically move like here to see it.
No, you're underneath this spot, so you'd have to step out to like here to be able to see out
Okay.
over the deck rails.
Can she
Okay.
ask Trevor to hold the ship steady? Is that a possibility for her?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Trevor's
Trevor.
limited in like really quick movements. Like if you have to take a super evasive action, it'll be slow for Trevor to do that. That's when you'd want to take over. But he can absolutely maintain the ship and do a little light steering on it.
Okay, so I'm gonna yell for Trevor to please steer the ship for a while.
Okay. He kind of
Just tell him
bellows.
keep it on course. He'll know what you mean.
Yeah, just keep it on course as we're going by.
So that would have been, we'll call that 20 of your movement to get out to right there. And when you step out, you can see, I didn't share that picture, I'm sorry. You can see 3 of these guys, big space whales, basically. And they're 2 of them are circling, and the one you can't see is the one that just slammed into the back end of the ship.
So Kandori 1, I'm gonna use my crossbow.
So that's the one you can't see.
Okay.
But there, now you can. That's all your movement.
Okay. So I'm gonna use my crossbow.
Okay. 13 will hit. 7 damage.
I'm gonna use my crossbow again.
I'm going to pause real quick. By this point, everybody would have had enough time to attune to the items that Bishop Formand gave you. So if you want to go ahead and click attune on your inventory sheet, go for it. Enough time has passed for that.
I use my crossbow again.
You only get 1 action. So that's it. Because you don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Wednesday's game, Miss Holly.
Yeah. Wednesday you get more than 1 crossbow attack.
I was trying. You
For
never know.
for point of record, Pam, which item did you attune that astral shard to?
My little spell glass.
So you can attune it to anything. Like you could attune it to the crossbow. The shard will attach to the crossbow, and then you can use the crossbow for your spellcasting focus. You just have to carry your crossbow to cast the spell.
How do I carry it again?
You just verbalize that you're holding it in your hands.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So you want to do that?
Yeah. Just for protection.
So you're gonna shoot your spells from your
Yeah.
crossbow. That's pretty cool.
That's literally what it's doing. All your spells come out of your crossbow. That's canon.
That's pretty sweet.
There we
Better
go.
learn how to restring just in case.
All right, so that's your turn. It is Yerndris's turn. He is gonna run up over here. Let me get his character sheet functional for me. He is going to Toll the Dead at Kindori 2. Succeeds.
Nah, he knows better than that. He'd always go for the wounded one. It's more damage.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind this is the first round, so all these moves happen simultaneously. So realistically, the same time Yerndris popped off Toll the Dead is the same time Miss Holly popped off a crossbow bolt.
All right.
And Fitz, you are asleep this round, as is Willie. Kindori 1 to attack the ship. 20. I gotta pull up my ship sheet. Hold on. So many pages.
The hell?
So it does hit the ship, doing 23 damage to it with his tail. Kindori 2. Gonna start moving in. Can't quite get to the ship. Same with Kindori 3. Godric, you spend this round getting your armor on with Amber.
Okay.
Sir Fluffybutt would have been up on the top deck. Hamish would have been with Yerndris. They can't really do anything, unfortunately.
I guess I should have rolled his initiative.
Yeah, it's all right. They're able to get 10, 30 there, 10, 20. Okay, sweet. So they are able to get up by dashing. Baron can get to there, and Thorin right on his tail, heading for the ballista. Trevor's maintaining the ship. B is maintaining the lower decks. We are top of the order, Miss Holly.
Same, I'm gonna use the crossbow on Kindori 1.
Okay. 17 will hit. 8 points of damage. Anything else for us?
Nope.
Alrighty. Yerndris. See, I know she's got better stuff than that. Yerndris is gonna work up a fancy spell here, and it succeeds. It's save, so I don't think anything happens. Yeah, nothing happens on that. And Yerndris is gonna move just a little bit. Sir Fluffy Butt moving anywhere? He can't attack anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, he'll move up here, and I guess if that Kindori 1 gets close enough, he'll stab it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, he's down on the lower end of the ship right now, so unfortunately he's out of reach. But if he moves up, we will get that action off. With that, we are on your turn, Fitz. You and Willie both wake up now that the ship's been hit that second time. So you wake up and feel the ship rocking, and you're starting to hear people scramble and shouting orders, and it sounds like general debauchery up top.
I am going to grab my longsword and my shield, and I guess I'll run up in my leather under armor.
Okay, just make sure you unequip your regular armor.
I did, I think.
All right.
I hope. Should
And
be.
I would say it would be your action to grab all your stuff to get moving, so you could move 30 feet, which will get you just to the bottom of the stairs this round.
All right,
Right there.
that's fair.
All right, Willie.
Well, I've taken off my breastplate, and I also do not have my boots on. I do not need a weapon, nor do I need those things I don't have on. So I'm just going to head on out, and I'll use a dash action to move the whole. If you would let me do it.
Yeah, I'll pull you over to the other sheet here. So that'd be, you got 10 feet of movement left where you're standing right now.
I was like, where the hell did I go in there? I guess I'll move over here. And what do I see? Do I see these Kindori?
Yeah, you can see Kindori 3 and 2. They're like coming down towards the deck. You can't see Kindori 1 because that one is like underneath the ship off the back end of the deck.
All right, well, if that's I will ready an attack.
Okay.
I guess I'll ready rage in case one of them attacks me.
So if I remember correctly, you can only hold an action. You can't hold a bonus action.
Well, that's lame. Okay, that's fine.
I think we had that discussion before too, and that's what we
I,
decided on.
I mean, theoretically, he could hold the rage. He just wouldn't be able to do anything with the rage.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, if something attacks him and he, "Rah!" and rages out, that's fine. But that would essentially be his
I
only
would
thing he could do.
I would homebrew this situation to say that if you get hit, you can start raging after the hit. Like the hit will throw you into a rage. If that's what you want to happen. But it won't be like, oh shit, I'm about to get hit, and then you start raging, so you get half damage on it. You're muted if you're talking.
Yes, that is acceptable.
Okay. Nothing else for your turn?
No, that's it.
All right. The Kindori takes a swing at the ship again. Does hit. Another 26 damage. You know what? Can I do this?
You could
Ha,
just give
I
Trevor a shit ton of hit points and put it towards Trevor.
Nope, I can put the ship on the tracker. It's there.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You guys can see the ship now. There's a marker for it off on the side just so you can kind of see how it's doing in general. Kindori 2 is going to swoop in up above the deck and takes an attack at Urindris. Hits. Some damage there. Kindori 3 comes over here and does the same thing to Miss Holly. Hits with a crit. That was like half of your health. Godric, your turn. Your armor is on. With a
Okay.
action dash, you could 20. With an action dash, you could get up to the top deck with 5 feet of movement left.
Okay, we'll do that. As I'm running, I'll look at Amber and say, please go man the navigation.
The helm.
The helm, yeah. Please go man the helm.
She nods her head and actually takes off right after you because it's their run next. She gets up to about here.
Do I pass Fitz?
Yes.
Okay. Something's attacking the ship, man.
He's coming up the stairs right behind you. So
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna spit that out. Something's attacking the ship as I run by him.
Baron and Thorn get over to the ballista and load and aim it this round.
Wait, why is Amber up here? I thought the Spelljammer was on a different level than what they're on.
Well, she's got to get control of it from Miss Holly first. And then the helm is actually on the same level as the main deck that you're standing on. It's just underneath where Baron and Thorin are.
That's right. Okay.
So they load and aim the ballista. And we are back to the top of the order with Miss Holly.
So I'm gonna tell Amber to go back and assist us with navigating at the moment.
Well, you got to touch her and pass it off. But to do so,
I have to move.
let's see what the range is there. Yeah, and to move over to her right now, you would take an attack of opportunity.
Okay, so no, never mind. I'm gonna do Vanishment on Kindori 3.
Okay, go ahead and drop the check. It fails. That wonderful little noise. And it's gone.
Can I now move and tell Amber?
Absolutely. It is an action to pass it off, though. So you won't be able to pass it off this round, but you can do it as an action on your next round.
That's fine.
Does Miss Holly have to do the touching?
I think so.
I mean, it doesn't matter who touches who, but it's an
Oh.
action for Miss Holly to pass control over.
Oh,
And
I
it
gotcha.
has to be
Okay.
through touch.
Well, yeah, I was just wondering if Amber could assist with that on her turn. guess,
She
but I
can't
guess
will
not.
for control to be passed over to her, is the thing. So
Gotcha. I
it's
got you.
like casting a spell. It takes an action to do it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Anything
Now
else
I
for
know.
your turn, Miss Holly? I know you said you were going to move over
No.
there.
Yeah.
Yurindris's turn. She's going to start swinging his battle axe. Hits. And he gets a second swing. Also hits. And for shits and giggles, he's going to action surge and do it all over again. Hits. And hits. All right. Sir Fluffy Butt.
I guess he's just gonna kind of stand there and root for everybody.
Okay. In that
Can
case,
Sir Fluffy Butt can reach Kandori number 2, and it's
Yep.
now on the top of the ship, can it?
correct. If you wanted him to run over there,
Oh, yeah, he could do it.
that's on top of Yurindris, but yeah, right there. And that would be straight movement as well, so he'd get his charge with that.
Okay, I'll be back in just a minute or two.
Is there some reason I can't target him?
He's targeted right now.
Oh, is he? Okay. Okay. What did that just do?
There's strength checks for the Kandori,
Oh,
and you rolled it. You rolled everything rolled doubles. So, your first charge hits with a 24, and he fails. I think your charge is that check is to see if it knocks prone. Yeah, these things can't be knocked prone, unfortunately. So, that's an automatic success for that.
that just
But you do hit.
why is it double rolling that?
I don't know. The bright side, we're going to take the first one over the second one. So you do 15 instead of 5.
And then, can he still do his hooves attack?
Yep. Natty 1. Nothing happens. He turns and kicks the air.
Okay.
All right. If that's it for his turn, it is your go, Fitz.
I am going to come up the stairs. I guess if you want to
Oh, yeah.
put me onto this map.
Yep, that'd put you right there. It only took 5 feet of your movement to get up there, so you got 25 feet left.
Okay. Is that going to be close enough to hit? Probably not.
Suppose it would help if I cleaned up the tokens and put them where they're supposed to be, huh? Yeah, it will. You're good.
Target. Okay. Targeted. Good. Let's see.
With a crit?
Okay.
Beautiful 33 damage.
Then we'll swing again.
Oh, hold on a second now, because you're swinging two-handed, but didn't you say you were grabbing your shield?
Oh, that's right.
I will leave I'll just take the poison damage back, which I believe was the 2d8.
2d6.
2d6. So 10 and 7. I got that right. So that'll put you at 81.
All right.
Okay, good to go. Just make sure
From
you
my
change that hand from the 2 to the 1 on your actions tab.
my bonus action, I'm dropping my shield.
Okay. That'll work.
And that's my turn.
There's your shield.
Okay.
Just so we remember that you dropped it. All right, Willie, you're up. You're also muted in case you didn't know.
Well, Willie is going to use rage, screaming with a plea to fight because I've been bored today. I will run over to here and I will use my claws on my rage.
Okay.
Find my rage button right place. Okay, there we go. I'm now raging. Yeah, I'm just gonna start clawing it in. This is the first claw.
Hits.
Oh,
Hits.
it's oh yeah, let's see. Look, fucking it up, really stop. There's my map. And the final claw attack coming in for a perfect 4-hit combo. We have Screaming, Raging Willie. Just, yeah, 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 yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Alrighty. With that, it comes to the Kandori's turns. This first one is swinging at the ship still. Swings and misses, ends up. He was down below deck. Now he's like level with the top beam. So he's visible to everybody now. Kindori 2 slaps a tail. We have no idea of knowing who he's going to hit. So there's 4 of you. Willie, you're 1. Fluffy's 2. Fitz is 3. Yurndris is 4. And we rolled a 1. So he slaps around at you, Willie. Hits. 19 resisted down to 9 on you. And Kindori 3 is currently banished. Godric is up. Mike is having some headphone issues. Did you get it sorted, Mike? It's your turn.
Alright.
Give him just a second. I can see him plugging something in.
Can I ask you, how fast is the ship moving?
So the ship moves approximately 4.5 miles per hour, so 40 feet per second or per round. Can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. It is your go.
Okay. Yeah. I just literally had a headphone malfunction, and my son's letting me borrow his headset. So
Oh, good.
I sent you a message, but
Yeah, no, I saw it.
okay. All right. Thank you, son. Appreciate it. Everything works. Okay. Okay. So I'm Kendora number 2. Mm, Let's see. Well, he looks pretty wounded, so let's toll the dead.
He fails.
Okay,
Big damage.
failed. No whammies. No whammies. Hey, what the hell? 12 and a 1. Seriously?
Hey, it's better than nothing. Balance, right?
Yeah. Balance. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that'll be my turn.
All right. Well, with that, we come to the crew members. Amber puts her hand as high up Miss Holly's arm as possible. She gets about mid bicep and waits for control to transfer. She will hold her movement. Well, no, she can't hold her movement, but she'll take control as soon as she can. The other 2 are able to get off a ballista shot. If I can make this work, and of course I can't. There we go. On Kindori 1. Hits. Some damage there, 17 of it to be specifically, and they will be able to get that thing reloaded on this round. And we are back to the top of the order with Miss Holly.
I'm gonna do banishment on Kindori too.
So you
But
already
first,
have
I'm gonna tell Amber.
a couple things there, Pam. First, you already cast banishment once, and that's a concentration spell for 1 minute.
So I can't do another one.
If
Got it.
if you cast another concentration spell, that first Kindori that you banish will come back. It has to be banished for a
Okay,
full
never
minute
mind.
for it to be permanent. Second, it takes your action to transfer control of the ship to Amber. So you wouldn't be able to cast a spell that cost an action on this round if that's what you're doing.
Okay, then never mind. And I'm just gonna tell Amber, go ahead and please navigate the ship.
Okay. Amber has control of the ship. And you still have your bonus action and movement.
Can I do Ice Knife as my bonus action?
No, that's an action spell.
Mer.
I don't think you have any bonus action magic. No, you don't.
Then that's it for me.
Okay. Yurndris' turn. Still on it with that battle axe. First one hits. Second one also hits. That is it for him. Sir Fluffy Butt.
Sir Fluffy Butt is going to. We're not flanking, are we?
No. That's a crit. 21. And another crit.
He has angered the horn.
Y'all better take turns polishing his horn or something. That unicorn puts in some work.
And then he's going to snort derisively at him as though mocking his weakness.
Touche. Touche. Fitz, it's your go.
All right.
You dropped your shield, so make sure you got the two-handed put back on that sword if that's what you're doing.
Okay.
That'll hit. Second one misses.
Is this a large creature?
This is a. Where's my character sheet? This is a gargantuan creature.
Okay, so if I use Misty Step to like step over here onto his body, would that give everybody else advantage being as he was finally flanked?
Yeah, I'd give it to you.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. Second level Misty Step onto this bad boy's back.
Okay.
And that will be my turn.
Alrighty. Willie, you're up. You get advantage now. You're muted.
Okay. Well, seeing this, I am going to start attacking him with my claws at advantage.
Look who's riding the bad guy this time, Willie.
That's a first.
So that second swipe is enough that it like collapses in the skull on the side of the head of the Kindori. And you can just see the life in its eye go.
Where's it go?
That was what my
That was your second
second
attack.
attack. Okay.
And don't forget, with your
What?
new boots, you can click your heels together. I think it was set as a bonus action to get double
Yeah, but I
movement.
don't have the boots on.
Oh, you don't? That's right. You did say that.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this guy 2 more times with my focus here. I guess I didn't really need to roll to hit, but I'm just gonna try my enemies. And I'll just claw out a big chunk. Just get some grub. You know,
Okay.
we ain't wasting that, boys. We gonna eat good. I can't cook
Oh
it, but I can kill it for us.
Oh God.
All right.
Willie. I just yell like Willie.
You've still got your movement. Do you want to move anywhere?
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, I'm over here.
Okay.
I will
The Kindori one is
kill that one. Bitch.
it is visible now. It's up like level with the top deck there, where the ballista is. Okay. That end your turn.
Yes.
Alrighty. It is the Kindori's turn. Kindori 1 is going to take another swing at the ship. Hits. A little bit of damage there. Kindori 2, deceased, however, starts drifting. Out and away from the ship, with Fitz still on its tail.
It's come back.
That's all right. I got another Misty Step.
And the other Kindori is still banished. Godric, your turn. Mike, that's you.
All right. So, are you really writing that dead thing?
Yes.
All right. Um. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here 25 foot, so I can see Kindori number 1. Um. And I think I need to quit playing with it. And we're gonna try Flame Strike.
It fails.
It fails. Yes.
Holy Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of ones in there, but 86 for 26 damage total.
Hey, I'll take it.
Alrighty. You got
So
anything else?
essentially, I step to the edge of the ship and say a little prayer, and a vertical column of fire roars down from the heavens, right on top of him in a big
So
giant
from
circle.
everywhere, because you're in the heavens, technically.
Well, above us either way. But yeah, that's it.
Alrighty. Well, with that, we come to the crew members. Thorin and Bairn finish loading, aim, and fire the ballista this round. Hitting for 17 damage. Amber kind of steps back into the helm room and maintains course on the ship unless instructed to do otherwise. And with that, we are back to the top of the order. Miss Holly, it is your go.
How bad injured is Kendori 1?
He's got some scars on him, but he's still pretty lifelike.
Okay, I'm gonna do ice knife on him. Or it.
Okay, hold on 1 second before you cast it. There, go ahead.
Yeah.
10 is going to miss. However, you do still get the explosion effect. So go ahead and roll the save on that. Because of proximity, it is going to roll against the ship as well. Both the ship and the Kindori fail, so go ahead and roll damage. 4 damage for the Kindori, and the ship doesn't take any on that.
Fun stuff.
Anything else for your turn?
No.
All right. Yurndris is up. 10, 15, 20, 25, 60. Double moves up to there. And that is his turn. Sir Fluffy Butt.
Okay.
Um, Sir Fluffy Butt's gonna run up to there. And then I guess he's gonna hold his. He's just gonna stop there for right now.
Okay. That's it for his turn.
Yep.
All right. Your turn, Sir Fitz.
Basically, I'm gonna move as far forward to just the tip of his nose there,
Okay. It's 15 feet of movement.
and then I'm gonna Misty Step 30 feet onto the ship.
Okay.
Um,
You got 15 feet of movement left.
and then I'll move over there.
All righty.
And that will be it for me this turn.
Willie.
Fuck it. If he can do it, I can do it. I'm gonna jump right under the motherfucker.
Okay. Make an athletics check for me. Oh, yeah. No issues. You jump over and land square on its back.
I land. I'm like, yeah, I knew I could do that. Oh, we can do
This
it.
campaign is turning into who can ride what. I love it.
Go get it, Willie.
And, I'm just gonna start following it, I guess. This one.
That
Oh,
one crits, so you're going to lose an attack on that. But that
okay.
was your second one, so you get one more for this round. That one will hit. And you made it worth it with max damage.
Okay, that's all.
That's it. All right, well, it is the Kindori's turn. Nobody else is around, so he's going to keep flailing at the ship. And he nat one. So, Willie, go ahead and take another attack at him. And it wasn't even.
I scream at him
It,
and one to grow on.
it wasn't even like an intentional attack. It was like you just had your claw up ready for you the next round, and when he went to kick, he over flailed and slammed himself into your claw. Is what that was. But with that, Godric,
Dumbass.
your go.
All right. So, I mean, think I. Down here. Oh, let's just keep up with Toll of the Dead.
Hardcore parkour is right, whiteout. Love it. Failed his check.
Double fours, really? Okay. All right. Well, something.
Right. You got anything else for us?
Let's see. Yeah, I can bonus action healing word, right? Yeah, bonus action healing word for Mr. Willie.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't look to be hurting. Am I? Yeah, I am targeting Willie. Okay.
No, he doesn't look too bad to you.
It's a little something, something. Because why not? And yeah, that'll do it.
All right. Thorin and Bairn get the ballista loaded and aimed this round, and we are back to the top of the order with Miss Holly.
I'm gonna do a ray of frost.
Okay. Critical hit. Nice.
Freeze that big bastard.
28 damage, and that was a cantrip, right? Yes, it was. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else for you?
Nope.
All right. Your Indris is up. 15. Oh, yeah. Gets over. I lost you, Willie. Hold on. Moving tokens.
No, Willie, don't go.
Oh, I clicked on the Kindori and it just moved it to the top. But Yurndris runs up and swings at it with his battle axe. Hits the first one and hits the second one. All right. And actually gets to re-roll that second die because it was a 1. So we get to add 1 more point of damage there. Because he's a great weapon fighter. And Sir Fluffy Butt. Oh, and I'm sorry, those attacks should have been at advantage. So let me roll them one more time, see if there was a crit. Nope, no crit. Okay. Go ahead, Jeremy. Sir Fluffy Butt's turn.
Okay. Sir Fluffy's gonna run up here.
Okay.
And
That'll hit. 9 damage. Second attack will hit.
well, I hit on a 4. And kills him.
You were not targeting the right one.
What?
You had the dead one still targeted.
Did I really?
You did. Hold on a second. Let me add here. 9 plus 13 is 22.
That's weird. It shows I'm targeted the Kenori one.
Now it is
Or
because I just changed it for you.
Oh.
I just retargeted. It did say Kendori too. So
Oh.
he's not dead.
Ow.
He is looking really rough though. Anything else for Fluffy Butt? All right.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Fitz is up then.
Gonna squeeze in here between you guys.
All righty. I can still hear you. So keep doing what you had to do. I just got to step away for 2 seconds.
Okay. Okay, now I killed him.
Yay. 1 second, guys. Willie, I like your background, by the way.
I thought he was appropriate.
That is appropriate. Which
It's
is probably
totally appropriate.
yeah.
It totally makes me feel like I'm there, like
Yeah.
mentally there. Matches.
But I gotta say, it's strange having something so appropriate from Willie. You know,
Kind of like that spider
Uh,
moment we had at some point.
right?
Yep.
I am sorry about that. I was indisposed for a moment. Apparently, the world's longest piss is going to happen during D&D. Okay, so yeah, that final blow comes down and takes out that Kindori. Willie, you're up next. So you have a second to jump back to the ship before it starts floating away, if that's what you were going to do. Okay. So
Yeah,
at
that's probably
so at this point, you guys would have approximately 42 seconds before banishment is up on that other Kindori. So that's 5 rounds worth of actions, movement, whatever.
I thought, didn't you say after the minute it becomes permanent?
It depends. Uh,
And also, if we're moving at 4 feet a minute or
40,
a second,
40
it,
feet
it
per
would be
6 seconds.
it
Yeah,
would be 400 feet behind us.
I'm aware.
Okay.
So banishment,
Okay.
I'll read it out here, is
Math.
if the target is native to the plane of existence you're on, you banish the target to a harmless demiplane. While there, it is incapacitated. The target remains there until the spell ends, at which point the target reappears in the space it left or in the nearest unoccupied space if that space is occupied. So it's going to reappear in the point at the point in the astral sea it was when it was banished, which will be somewhere behind the ship. But over the course of a minute, rough math, it's going to be like 300 feet roughly behind the ship. And you guys don't know if it can fly faster than the ship or not. But you got 5 rounds worth of movement actions you want to do before it reappears.
Now, my question is, what Fitz is wondering, is this creature dumb enough that it's going to fly through a field of its cut up, dismembered brothers and
Can
still
we
keep
just
thinking, oh yeah, I can take these guys?
can we
I
just
mean,
pull one of these up on deck and go?
I mean, you guys are going. You're traveling at speed still. If you
I mean,
wanted,
can we ballista with a rope onto one of these things and reel it in?
they've got it loaded. You just got to tie a rope to the current ballista. So give me a survival check.
I'd say
I
let's
got
do
rope.
that. You guys good with that?
Yeah, I
I-
have a lot of rope.
Willie, are these things even edible for normal people?
I mean, I assume so.
Make a nature check, Willie. Well,
You guys are.
history check for this one because you're recalling information from your time here.
And are you any good at survival checks there, Willie? At tying rope?
At
The-
history checks, I'm pretty good.
These things are absolutely edible. They're just like giant fish.
No, are you
Yeah.
any good at tying knots?
Sure.
Out of character, do you have a higher survival check than 2 and maybe proficient in it?
Probably.
Because
Well,
I'm
let me
not.
see what I can. Let me see what I can do. Willie says, and he reaches down to tie the knot. No, it didn't matter. I rolled poorly.
I got 3. I'm really not that good at survival.
Maybe
Yeah.
somebody should help me, because this does not look like it's going.
Yeah, I'll.
You like way overthink the knot you're tying, and it ends up being a slip knot by the time you're done with all the twists and binds you put on it.
Maggot love. Wait, sorry. All right, yeah, let's do it again, and I'll help Willie
Go ahead with advantage then.
because he's got a better chance at it than I do.
That's much better. And Baron looks over the knot and goes, "Hey, that should hold."
All right, let's shoot it. Reel one in as we're moving.
He goes ahead and takes the loaded shot at Kindori 1 and does hit it. So it's now currently being dragged behind the ship, and it just needs pulled
Okay.
in.
We'll pull it in.
All right. Everybody,
That I can definitely help with.
everybody make strength checks.
Athletic or just strength?
Call it athletics. It's going to come out the same, or it should. Go ahead and make athletics though.
Nat 20.
Yeah, I still got it.
Yurndris rolled a 15. Fitz, you got one for us? Jeremy?
I am indisposed at the second. Did you
Okay.
roll for me?
Yep, I got you.
You just had to mention taking a long piss, so now he's got to, you know.
Hey, shit happens.
Well, it could be that too. Who knows?
Beautiful. Fitz rolled a
You
19.
never
So yeah,
know.
you guys really taking advantage of that low gravity, and you heave it up right as you get it up to the back of the ship and quickly fasten it off. That third Kindori reappears way back behind the ship, 300 or so feet. And let's see if it even knows what's going on. You see it like pop back into existence and kind of like shake its head a little bit and turn and start flying away from you guys.
Well, that worked. I think it was the head that Willie hanged. He was like,
Let's
nope,
not talk about that.
Yeah.
fuck
Nope.
this shit.
Make an insight check, Pam.
Mm-mm. I'm just saying.
You're pretty sure it was very similar to like when you slap an angry dog kind of situation, and it just wanted nothing more than to get out of there after the weirdness that just happened to it.
As it's going away, I'm like, bye-bye.
It was confused. Where'd I go?
It was very much
Wait.
like, what the fuck was that? And turned and swam away.
It's too bad.
He's
Could have eaten more of them.
Yeah, you've definitely got that one tied up. Anybody who's going to partake in the butchering of it, roll a survival check.
Why don't you even try?
All right. But with Willie's 20, he's like teaching you how to carve astral sea fish as you're going, and you're not really getting it because it's your first time butchering anything, but he's teaching you.
I'm just like, you want the good chunks, and you need to cut out the bad pieces here. You see the bad ones, and I'm just like cutting shit out, and you're like, I don't fucking see anything. And I'm like, the good ones, and then the bad ones, And the good ones, you want some? You can eat it right now. I'll just eat a piece right out of it. Right here.
No. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
And then he
I
pops out the smaller of the 3 eyeballs and goes, and you can't forget these, and goes to suck the jelly out of it and make a Constitution saving throw. See how your stomach holds up to that.
Me or her?
Her.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna go really
Dude, you
well.
keep heads in a jar. I ain't worried about your Constitution saves. you're
Well, I'm loving it.
you're kind of sickened by it, but it doesn't like make you feel like you need to puke or anything.
That seems
It's really
yummy.
good. That is fresh. That is fresh.
All right.
Gamey, even. You can.
You guys are able to recover a large portion of Kindori meat, which I will add to the ship inventory. About 60 pounds worth. But that is that. The threat is gone. We are out of combat. Ship took a couple of hits there. So I will let you guys tell me what you're. It's basically at the end of when you would have been waking up for the day, anyways. Uh, so at this point, the treeborns start going about their routine duties and doing some mending to the ship and inspecting the lower decks for damage. Amber maintains control of the helm, and you guys can do what you're gonna do.
What's the damage per se? How bad is the damage? Like, what is actually looking
Out of
damage?
out of character, your ship has 250 hit points, and it took 75 damage. So it didn't like breach the hull, but if you went below deck and looked, you would just see like stress fractures everywhere and some splinters where it took impacts. Mending can fix some of it, not all of it. It'd take time and carpentry skills to actually fully repair the damage.
Now we call Burn and just kind of unite with him and everybody else, and he can guide us to the better option to mend the ship.
Yeah, Baron's below deck working with Thorin to do what they can do with mending initially, and then evaluate the damage that's left over.
Okay.
So for brevity's sake, it heals or fixes about 35 points worth of damage just from them mending alone.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, great, perfect. Yeah, technical issues. I actually just got my other headset back. I'll explain later. So if they're going to be down in the bottom using mending to try and fix the ship, I'd like to go down and try and give them a hand with my
Okay.
mending abilities.
New day, not a bad chance for you to talk Fitz through another attempt as well if Fitz is feeling up to it.
As long as the ship keeps moving, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Okay.
I just don't want to see this ship stop.
Absolutely. And are you gonna try to assist him like you did before, or due to the nature of
Yes.
we just got hit, it's kind of like a hey, you try, I'll be over here actually fixing stuff.
Well, you said essentially 2 a day, right?
Yeah.
So
So
at least for the first one, I'd like to give him a hand.
okay.
Not to mention, you said that after so long, I'm not going to be able to help him anyways.
Yeah. So
So
if he succeeds this check, this will be the last time he gets advantage from your assistance.
okay,
Is basically what it would be.
all right.
He does succeed. It plays out kind of like it did last time, except you feel significantly less drained than you did the first time. You still feel a little drained from it just because you're not used to it. Um, but you're ready and rearing to go, and you are able to put a little mending
Yeah,
out.
Nice.
let's do it again.
And that's just not on one block. You guys kind of work your way through that lower deck, and you're able to patch up a couple of fractures. But after a while, Fitz, you feel drained. You feel like you need to spend some time working on your heart to hand connection before you can continue with that
Okay.
process, and determine that you're best elsewhere with something of more of a physical nature in terms of repairs, if you choose.
So in other words, I will look at him after he succeeds and say, I think at this point, um, if you need any more advice, I'll be glad to talk you through it. But at this point, I think it's just a practice thing now, Fitz. Just keep your bond strong with your deity and your faith, and then just keep practicing.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think you got me over the hump here.
Hey, not a problem, not a problem. May well, I was gonna say may Apollo guide you, but may your God
So,
guide you well.
Thank you.
Alrighty. So I don't know if you heard, Mike. Mending would take care out of character. The ship has
I
200,
caught it.
250. That thing had done 75. Mending takes care of about 35 of that in terms of damage. So there's 40 left. It'll take some carpentry repair skills
Hmm.
to brace the bigger splinters that mending just can't take care of. So,
Well, I'm gonna spend the day after I've done as much as I can with these guys with the big hole.
mhm.
I'm gonna go around and see if I can't do a little bit of work on the smaller stress fractures, things like that. Um, to try and keep. It's kind of like that. Keep everything else whole, so that it doesn't break down while the bad spot is still there. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're gonna do like the maintenance work while the Treeborns are working on the bigger repairs. Is that what
Once
I'm?
I've done as much as I can to
Okay,
help them, yes.
perfect. Anybody else doing anything in terms of the ship or in
I'm just
general?
encouraging anybody that can help to please do so, so we can make sure that the remaining of the sailing goes as smooth as possible, because most likely we'll probably get another attack. So let's try to fix this and mend it as much as we can as fast as possible. That's my only
Okay.
request.
So you're just
More, more.
you're walking around with the clip going, "Hey, good job. Keep up the good work. Nice one over there. Keep it up."
Yeah.
But not actually physically doing anything to help, just being an
Well,
encouraging
I could
presence.
help. I mean, but my survival, it's not that much, and I don't have any experience with carpentry, so
Okay, fair
Well,
enough.
Miss Holly, when you say that to me, I will look at you and go, have more faith, Miss Holly. We will make it through this journey intact.
I know, but things can happen, and I'm just making sure that we get everything repaired before we have another attack, which I'm assuming we probably will. We still have 5 days and a half to go, so right, it's daytime already, so 5 days and a half.
Mm, didn't he? How long was the journey again?
The
Seven
journey is
days.
7 days. This is
Yeah,
the
sounds about right. Five
morning
and a half.
of the second day. So you've
Yeah.
got today and then 5 more days, but you're at the start of
Mm,
a full day right now.
so 5.5 days. She had it right. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Willie, what are you up to?
nothing. Willie ain't got nothing. Uh,
Okay.
I mean, I am there to help if they need me to carry something, but carpentry is not in the list of things that Willie sees at.
Hey, if you can swing a wrench, you can swing a hammer. I mean,
All right, give me one
Yeah, Willie, your strength might
second
be like
here.
even better than a hammer. So I'm just saying, you got
So
strength for that.
with Willie and Miss Holly assisting as asked by Baron and Thorin, that gives them advantage on their checks for their carpentry skills. They both do very well. They're able to cover. It takes them, a little more than half the day. It's definitely after lunchtime by the time they finish the work, but they are able to get the ship patched up and repaired with your guys' assistance.
So
So the
Good
ship's
job,
up to full
crew.
health. So with that though, it is 12 o'clock my time. So that is the end of the stream and the end of your first full day of travel. And we will pick it up next week. We got 6 more days to see how you guys get to the tear. So as always, I will leave the stream running for part of our post chat, but I'm going to say goodbye now and thank everybody for coming. If you haven't already, make sure you drop that follow button. Super appreciate it, and eventually we'll be able to start getting you guys collecting points just for watching and getting a little contributing to the streams. Maybe gift a crit here and there or a fumble if you're maniacal like me. So thanks everybody for coming. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Vegas.
Good game, guys.
yeah,
Fun
I don't think
stuff.
it went too
Just
bad.
a little change of pace from, oh fuck, they're gonna kill us.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of saw that when they were attacking our fucking ship. Like, I mean, gotta make sure it stays afloat or flying or whatever.
No, that's a good mindset to be in when you're somewhere in the middle of wild space on a ship. Like the ship is what
Well,
you got. So
I was just thinking, even though they're astral plane whales, there's, still they're still whales of some sort. And
Yeah.
I know, uh, like whale blubber and
thank you for
parts.
reminding me of that. In the harvesting, since Willie rolled a dirty 20, I think it was a 22 actually, you do get a little bit more oil out of it.
Yeah, might come in handy to.
I bumped the lamp oil up to 90 there. So 30 units of it.
Oh, really? Just gonna turn it into lamp oil?
Blubber oil, lamp oil, it all burns the same in a lamp.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking more or less of using it as a bartering chip, like whale
Okay.
blubber.
Okay.
I was kind of keeping it separate from the.
I got you. I'll make it a separate item.
I appreciate it because I was just thinking, I mean, it's got more uses. Yes, it can be used as lamp oil, but
We'll
I
just
think
say
there's other uses for it.
we'll say 1 barrel's worth of Kindori blubber.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I don't know, with like,
No, and that makes more sense too, because you have to process blubber to turn it into an oil. So
yeah, and I mean, is there any other useful parts to? I mean, like bones,
make
skin.
make a nature check. See if any of it looks familiar for you. I know we're post game, but we'll handle some of this off out of play.
18.
I mean it's not a combat creature typically. So the parts that it has aren't really useful for a whole lot. I mean,
I
you
mean, thick hide might be able to turn some of that into like winter clothing for.
not not thick enough to give you any real protection from anything.
Well, heat. Winter. I'm thinking like winter clothes. Like maybe we could find a tailor who could use the
It's not like
skin.
it's not a leather skin. It's like a fish skin. It's really really thin. Like it's
Oh, okay.
not designed for protection. I mean, you saw how easy
Okay.
it was to hit them.
Not like actual whale
Yeah,
hide.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh,
So,
that's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to get as much out of it as we can. Essentially,
oh,
that's why I
absolutely.
said grab it.
Willie ate the
So
eyes in front of Holly, trying to get her to puke. So those are off the table.
that
I
wouldn't
ate
even.
those eyeballs out of love of eating eyeballs.
I gotta say, I'm disappointed, Willie. I mean, everybody knows when you're eating eyeballs, it's the satisfying pop, not sucking the jelly out.
As an avid hunter, I will say it is pretty satisfying when you get that little pop while you're cleaning the skull.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna
So
puke.
as far as your
It's
training,
nature's bubble wrap.
she's really gonna puke, guys. Come on.
as far as your training with
Uh,
Godric goes, Fitz, I will say moving forward, you're comfortable with mending. Like you've made the connection twice at this point. Uh, so for future training, you still need to train with Godric. Just choose a different cantrip. And these cantrips aren't going to be the ones that you're going to take when you make the switch. Just pick a random cantrip and be like, hey, can you work with me on this one now? Like we're good with mending. What about Sacred Flame or something like that?
Yeah, I was gonna say I got I. The reason why I chose mending is because it was a non-damaging
Yeah.
cantrip. The rest of my cantrips are actually damaging.
And
So
there's things you can do to make targets that you don't have to worry about. Like you could strap a barrel with a rope and hang it off the back, drag it behind the ship, and let him try to take a swing at that. Or, if there was when you guys empty the poop bucket, have him fucking try to snap a sacred flame at that. There's
yeah,
things
I was
like
gonna
that
say
you
yes.
can do.
I think Sacred Flame would be
Yes,
uh
Sacred Flame and Hand of Radiance are the two I plan on stalking.
Hand of Radiance or
Hand of Radiance.
okay. Well, I only have a Word of Radiance, but say the cantrips that I have are
I think Word of
cleric
Radiance is
specific.
what you mean. No, that's cleric.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a Hand of Radiance in my spell list here.
Um, I'm
No.
not.
Actually, all of my cantrips are.
Oh, it's Unearthed Arcadia or Arcana.
Yeah,
Let me
I don't
rephrase.
have that book.
Let me rephrase that. Um, None of my cantrips would actually work for a paladin. Not even the mending.
Mm.
But so yeah. Um.
Oh, okay, Word of Radiance is exactly like Hand of Radiance. So
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I don't have any paladin cantrips on here, so I'll have to hand
well,
code
What
them. Which
can you
Paladin.
give me the description for your Hand of Radiance?
Well, it's word for word Word of Radiance. It's just a reflesh apparently.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just the paladin version of the same thing.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
except instead of saying a word, you just raise your hand and a burning radiance erupts from it. Because basically all the cantrips I can use are the cleric cantrips.
Oh, okay, okay. So
There
all your
aren't
cantrips are cleric cantrips. Okay.
yeah, there aren't actually any paladin cantrip.
Yeah.
Okay, so that works. That works. So yeah, I would definitely either Word of Radiance or Sacred Flame then would be
Yeah.
the two choices I'd go with for you. I mean, Toll the Dead is a little on the complicated side in comparison to those other two. Otherwise, I'd suggest Toll the Dead, but for practicing purposes. But yeah, I think Sacred Flame or Word of Radiance, whichever one. Like, obviously, yeah, I think Word of Radiance actually. Let's do that
I mean,
Yeah, well,
because
he
it,
still
it erupts for me,
he still has to
and it.
pass 3 more checks. So I mean, you could do
I
both of them. Learn to summon a
y-
holy flame and learn to expel power through a holy word or through a holy
Yeah, but
gesture.
my thought process on it though is when I go to show him how to do Word of Radiance, it's going to erupt from me, whereas when he tries it, he'll try and get it to erupt from him, but it's just going to pop from his hand. So I think that would be
Oh, I can narrate that. That's no issue.
Well,
I've
the
already.
reason I was going for those two, one, Palor is the god of fiery justice. Fire is literally my god's thing.
oh okay, yeah. So
Um,
Sacred Flame for sure, yeah.
and then Radiant as an Azamar, Radiance is my whole thing. So I thought those two would resonate most with my character and be the ones he'd be most likely to be able to manifest.
And you've got the
Sure.
gleaming armor, so you just kind of radiate all the time.
Right.
A little extra.
Right. Fits is a little extra.
So I had a question about the hypnotic pattern
Okay.
because it says that it creates like the wave within like 30 foot. But like in the case that we were today, does it affect also the party as
So
to they have no more movement, or
the
does it only affect like the creature that I want to target?
the range on the spell is 120 feet. So you create, I'm reading it verbatim here. You create a twisting pattern of colors that weaves through the air inside a 30-foot cube within range. So you pick a point within 120 feet, and from that point generates a 30-foot cube. And everything within that 30-foot cube will have to roll the wisdom saving throw or be charmed for that duration, for the duration.
So we went through this with
Bear.
Lobolo Bear, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he uses that with his bard.
Mhm.
And
It's
yes,
it's not 30 feet from
everything
you.
within
It's 30 feet from a point you choose, but it's everything within that
yes.
30 feet will be affected by it.
Yep.
Okay, so I wouldn't have been able to use it because I wanted to use it, but I'm like, no way, because Willie's right here and this is right here, so that's
Yeah, and
going to affect everybody within the
that's the
circle.
tricky part of using a two-dimensional tabletop in a three-dimensional space is it's a cube, so it's a 30-foot square, but it's also a 30-foot square. You got to think in terms of up and down as well as left and right, which
Okay,
So
just wanted to
you
gets a
double.
little complicated.
so your best I can tell you your best use for hypnotic pattern is when we are up against like an army
Got it.
to knock out a big portion
You
like
can knock
section
out 5
of
or
the
6
army.
guys, so you only have to worry about 3 or
Like
4, and then you
an
can worry about those other 5 or 6 afterwards.
Yep.
works like a fireball. Everything surrounding it is gonna be affected.
Correct.
Yep.
Except it's a
Isn't there
Got it.
cube, not a sphere.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
is, isn't
Okay.
there a meta magic feat or something you can get that allows you to only affect the people you want to? Or am I
Yes.
Careful,
No, no,
if I
you
remember
are
correctly.
absolutely right. There is. The problem is that meta magics you are limited to which ones you choose off the list.
hmm So she has
I
So,
distance, quickened, and twinned currently. So she
right.
can increase the range of her cast. She can cast an action spell as a bonus action instead, and she can send 2 out instead of 1 currently. Couple more levels, I think she gets another option. But that's what she has
Twin
currently.
twin haste is where it's at.
Oh yeah.
You haste me, you haste Fitz, and then we just go kill stuff.
Yeah, because it'd be cool to have something like that is like close to us and aiming at us, but maybe I don't want to hit everybody that's involved in that area and just one
Yeah.
particular target.
And
that
I
would
mean,
Yep.
also
you may have a situation where sorry, hope your roll comes out good, you know? Like if you got 20 people surrounding Willie and that would change the game and keep y'all from dying, Willie might just have to be charmed for a couple of rounds.
I,
Like
I, I'll give you this. In Aram's position, careful would be used if he actually cared.
Okay.
But if you don't care, then who needs careful aim?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because ARAM just don't care. If you're in the way of his fireball when he shoots it, guess what? You're getting burned. He don't care. But
Yeah. If someone that's almost dying, and I'm sorry, but everybody else is kind of healthy, but I want to save one particular one that it's almost dying, and I get to do something to the thing attacking it, then you know what? We'll all take damage, but at least we're not all dead, and then I save.
At the end of the day, Miss Holly is going to make whatever decision she thinks is best, and
Yep.
the other characters can have a conversation with her about it afterwards.
There you go.
The one saving grace is you have a life cleric on your side. So there's
Yeah.
somebody who can throw
Yeah.
out a healing word and keep somebody from dying instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ARAM doesn't have that option. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah. Okay.
well,
Got it.
and if Fitz is close enough to them, then they get the +5 to their saving throw too.
Yep.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
that's the
That'll help.
anybody within 10, is it 10 feet of you?
Yep.
Yeah. Anybody within 10 feet of
Okay.
Fitz gets a +5 to any saving throw they make. So,
Well, at
Okay.
least to level 17, then it's 30 feet.
yeah.
Okay.
That it is. So I'm
Good
going to go
stuff.
ahead and cut off the stream. Thanks again, everybody, for
All
coming
right.
to watch. See you next week.
Thanks, guys.